0.14 yards per route run on 42 routes. Only 42 routes, but 0.14 against cover 2 compared to Chase's digit of 3.52. So, yes, Jamar Chase will go over 69.5. The Javonte Williams one, I mean, it's almost too good to be true. The Bears rank top 5 in the deployment of too high looks. So going to be some light boxes for Javonte. They're giving up over 3 yards before contact per attempt. And when he's contacted after 1 yard, Javonte averages 6 yards a carry this year. And the Bears are also allowing 6.3 yards per carry on opposing man or gap concepts, 4th most in the league, compared to just 3.52 on zone concepts. And Javonte is averaging 6.8 yards a carry, 3rd most with an 87% success rate against those man or gap concepts. So we're feeling good. Garrett Wilson, this one's a little weird, but over 5.5 receptions, I do feel really good about it because I wouldn't put it up here at these odds that aren't great if I didn't feel really good about it. He is rolling with a very fat 34% target share. The Bucs have been an underneath funnel, allowing the most receiving yards per game on throws traveling 10 yards or fewer from the line of scrimmage. He gets a 12% boost to his targets per route run against cover 3, which they run a ton. The Bucs have funneled opposing volume to opposing number 1 receivers thus far with Drake London and Nico Collins. I mean, we can keep going with the positives, but I think that Tyrod Taylor is more consistent than Justin Fields. So I think it may not get a lot of yards, but I'm very confident that Garrett Wilson, barring an injury, will get 6 grabs. Devontae Adams, not a bad number here, 59.5. He got to 51 against Derek Stingley in the season opener, who is the best corner in football for my money. And then last week he went off. He ranks 4th in the league at the position in targets per route run. So you love that. He ranks 3rd in average separation score, AKA AS, over at fantasypoints.com. 2nd in win rate. So he's balling. He's still balling. Puka, will see a lot of Cooper DeJean. And I think Devontae, they can move around a little bit, get him off of Quinion Mitchell and maybe on to Adoree Jackson a time or two. So I like that. How about this one? Russ Wilson. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh, he's doing this. Then I went back and I looked at his last 6 games, over 3.5 rushing attempts. I looked at the last 6 games against Kansas City, who play a lot of man and give up typically quarterback rushes. Here it is. 6 for 55, 8 for 30, 4 for 31, 4 for 27, 4 for 57, 4 for 32, 6 for 49. That's his last 6 games against KC. So I think we're going to get to 4 rushing attempts. Feel good about that. Drake London, alert the media because we're taking an under 5.5 receptions. 2 things. Number 1, well, Atlanta has been the 3rd most run-heavy offense in the league. That's 1. Number 2, unbelievable schematic matchup for Bijan. So, and the Panthers can be run all over. So they may not need much from Drake London. And last but not least, perhaps most importantly, J.C. Horn has been the man. My analysis last week with Trey McBride was that Marvin Harrison wasn't going to do crap, and he didn't, and that was because of J.C. Horn. He has been targeted as the closest defender to the ball on only 4 occasions this year, and he's allowed 1 catch for 7 yards, and that was to McBride. So Drake London, I'd be floored if he caught 6 balls in this one. DJ Moore, I'm going for it, 55.5, because Matt Eberflus, zone-heavy defense. Cowboys have yet to play a snap of true man coverage. DJ Moore, his targets per route run grew 21% against zone. You know who doesn't do well against zone? The prop we won last week because it was against a man-heavy defense, Roma Dunze. So in a shootout, DJ Moore really good over 55.5. Feel very good about that. Also feel very good about Ramondre Stevenson because, you know, it's Travion Henderson's not ready for prime time. Mike Vrabel is impressed by Ramondre. How could you not be? After last week, Ramondre looked svelte. He looked good. 61% of his carries have come with man and gap concepts. The Steelers are allowing the most yards per carry, 7.6 on those concepts, second highest success rate on those concepts. And Ramondre he's the guy in the backfield. The Steelers have been a pretty much a run funnel as well. So we're going to get a lot of carries here. I got to speed it up a little bit. Justin Herbert, over 20 rushing yards his last 4 games dating back to last year. 8 for 28, 3 for 12, 7 for 32, 9 for 31. I do like that. He's hit it 3 of the last 4. And then let's get into those touchdown props very, very quickly. A lot of these I kind of talked about the analysis, like Devontae Adams, Patrick Mahomes. Dude's running all over the place, leading the lead in scrambles and scramble yards. Harold Fannin Jr. Why am I taking this? Because he's up against cover 2. That's perfect for him, and he crushes that with 4.56 yards per route run. Here's a weird one. Carson Wentz at plus 500. Vikings fan growing up. Aaron Jones out. I think they'll have some red zone struggles. Maybe he takes one in, takes it upon himself to do it. And then Russ Wilson, as I mentioned, how about that? Plus 750? Really like that one. We are up against the end of the program. All we have left to go is the best bet, which, of course, as always, is brought to you by GBank. GBank, built with sports bettors in mind. Right now, you can earn $50 cashback reward bonus once you're approved and your account is open with the GBank Visa signature card. Most credit cards treating the sports book and the gaming transactions as cash advances, even when it's your own money. GBank treats them as regular purchases. No cash advance fees, saving you 3 to 5% on every deposit. You'll earn 1% cash back on all eligible gaming transactions, 2% cash back on everything else you buy. Apply now, vison.com/GBank. After we sign off, it is Money Moves. Jonathan Von Tobel on today's show. Mike Palm and Will Hill will break down the NFL action. But my best bet for the week is Ashton Genty, over 55 rushing yards. The Commanders have been a run funnel. There is no doubt about it. They play a lot of nickel, so it'll be light boxes for Genty. We got a squeaky wheel game coming at us here, as Pete Carroll addressed it. So very confident that Ashton Genty will go over 56 rushing yards. Thanks for tuning in today and all week. Thanks to Michael Cohen. Thanks to our guests, Ben Stevens and Scott Barrett. I'm John Hansen. We'll catch you on Monday for another edition of Prop Points right here on VSiN.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt, and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
If I could be you.
And you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside
each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it. Unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
It's time to kick back and listen to the sports page with your host, Pat Lucia, right here on Western Reserve Radio. You can call the show at 330-707-4202 and tell everyone what's on your mind in the wonderful world of sports. Now, here's your host, Pat Lucia.
Saturday morning sports page. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. We will be going to noon today. We got another hour to do on the sports page. So we're 9 to noon today.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Got a lot to get to. NFL, obviously front and center. We'll look at the college games, as we always do.
Right.
I guess right off the top, what jumps out at me with the NFL, even maybe talk a little baseball. It's getting interesting now this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
These races are tightening up. There's not many games left in the 162 games that they do play. The marathon of baseball is coming to an end, kind of finally. Only problem with baseball is they need to figure it out because they should get the season over earlier because now they're right in the smack head of football, especially NFL football, which is just getting really interesting.
You got college in that, and then the ratings that people watch, the WNBA ratings.
Yeah, the WNBA ratings.
Baseball's behind that too. That thing is. Those games have been tremendous. I've been watching them. Oh my God, they're so good games.
And now the value of the WNBA franchise is really like skyrocketing. So all of a sudden, the WNBA has taken off, and which I think is great.
Yeah.
And now the women are going to want more money, which they now deserve.
Yeah, they deserve. I like what they've done though, where they got that league, and then instead of all these kids they grown, go overseas, they got that unrivaled league that's on the off season.
Keep them here.
Yep, and it's on. Yeah. It's got a TV contract. They're getting paid pretty good from that. And then they go back to them. That's better than going overseas.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. On a lot of levels.
So they don't have to go, too much turmoil right now to be going everywhere. So it's perfect league for them. But if people have been watching, I've been watching every single playoff game It's been unbelievable.
Been tight.
To the wire.
Yeah.
And they play so well. I can watch it.
You can watch it.
Years ago, well, no, I can't say that. It's way back. You know, you probably couldn't, but now, no. And then Seattle Storm, they got put out, but they got a player on there that she get a fast break. She throws it down. However you want it, backwards, side, whatever. Because she does it in the warm-ups, all during the warm-ups. They be just loving it. She's only 18. She's the only 18-year-old in the WNBA. She came from overseas.
Oh, she's overseas. Okay.
Yeah, and she just came straight into the WNBA.
So she didn't go college. She went right to the WNBA.
Yep. Connecticut did want her, but she went straight to
She went to Seattle.
Yep.
That it?
Seattle Storm. Yep. Which needs the NBA franchise.
They need a team badly.
I want them to have one.
Oh, man.
We're the Supersonics.
Where are the Supersonics at?
Oh, God.
Bring them back.
Yep.
And the Chargers need to go back to San Diego.
Quick. If they're going to be where I want them to win and be San Diego, not the Los
Not
Angeles.
playing the giant gazebo with no home fans.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's what that SoFi Stadium, they now refer to.
They might get some, they might want to come to the games now since you got both teams are winning. Rams and them. Gives a reason for the fly-by-night fans of L.A., which is really half the population might not even be from L.A., to be honest with you. Half of them may be from anywhere in the United States or overseas, because that's what it is over there. When you go out there, that's what it is.
The NFL forced the Rams back on Los Angeles.
Right.
Los Angeles didn't care. They don't care.
No.
We live in this area of the country, Ohio, Midwest. Some people call it Mideast, Midwest. But the hard part of it is we live in an area where, like, football is, like, it. Like, we have 3 sports in this area. We always said this. And then you take from there. Pro football, college football, high school football. Then after that, there's baseball, and then there's basketball, or you can interchange basketball, baseball.
Right.
And you could kind of, I think that's where baseball and basketball continue to kind of compete for that next spot. Granted, high school football may not be as crazy as but there are parts of the country that high school football is absolutely insane,
Like
too.
Texas.
Texas is big. Actually, California, you could make the argument that the people in California care more about their high school football than their pro football out there. Certain areas, certain high schools are very popular. So what you have realistically in the landscape of the country is really, I think, the NFL is the main one. That's it. And then college football, what kills college football is their matchups are terrible. Like not all of them, but some weeks you just have horrible matchups. You don't have that in the NFL.
No, anybody can beat you.
You don't. I'll tell you.
What your record is.
I'll tell you an example. Thursday night game. We got it wrong because we took Buffalo and laid the 11.5. Buffalo won, but they didn't cover.
And Miami showed up.
And Miami showed. And the point on it is this, is I'm listening to Mad Dog Russo, and he's very like quickly judgmental. He said like, oh, that game's going to stink. That game, Thursday night game, is going to be terrible. It's going to stink. That game's not going to be any good. Okay. He always says that off the cuff. Okay. And I have always known that watching NFL, that's usually not the case. Like, NFL is so funny because when you think there's a bad game, it can turn into a really good game, even though the teams are okay teams. But like the game Thursday night, Miami showed up. Does it give their coach an extension to get through the year? Because there's all that fire, the coach. Did he buy himself some time? Is Miami season maybe not over? Granted, 0-3, you're not getting into the playoffs. You know, technically you're not going to get in, at least once you're 0-3. It's so rare. But now, though, can he make it a respectable team? They showed up. They played good. They played to win. If it wasn't for the roughing the kicker, Miami probably might have won that game. That roughing the kicker kept the drive alive. Buffalo went on to score. If that kicker does not get roughed, Miami,
they could have won.
They might have won that game.
Yeah, I know.
And I hate to say it comes down to one play, but you, Dave Clark, and I have watched a lot of football.
It can come down to one crucial play could change the whole game. And
right.
That was a big moment for him then. So, I mean, you looked at Miami roster and you say, okay, come on now. There's talent on this team. What is going? Why are you so terrible like this?
Right.
And then they come, they want to play, and they showed up, and Buffalo seen that they showed up.
Right.
So it's there for them to win. They should have won that game. Really take advantage of it because it was in Buffalo, but it's warm, so they didn't have to worry about the cold. And if they could have won that game, now they got to have Buffalo come back to Miami later in the season, probably when it's hot and it's hard to go down.
Go from 0 degrees to 70 degrees.
Yep. It's a big difference. It was a big advantage for them, but that play could have been the turning point. Maybe they still lose, but I don't know. That was big because that kept the drive alive, and they
gave
scored.
them the 7 points.
Yep.
You got to remember, Buffalo they got the field goal right at the end to make it 10, but they were only up by 7.
Yeah.
They don't get that. If they don't get that touchdown, they don't keep their drive alive. They've got a punt to Miami. All of a sudden now, they don't have that 7 points.
Right.
That game changes, at least in my eyes. And all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a minute now. Now it's a tied game. So maybe the guy's kicking the field goal to win the game for Buffalo.
Yeah.
And after that kicker shanked that one field goal with Buffalo earlier in the game, maybe he's got some pressure on him.
Right.
Maybe he doesn't make it. Maybe you have overtime. Maybe all of a sudden now there's so many what ifs though. And it was really coming down to that roughing the kicker. And that kept that drive alive, and Buffalo went on and scored that touchdown.
Right.
But it changed, one play can change a game.
Yep, sure can.
And it wasn't a referee making a bad call. It was an obvious roughing the kicker. There wasn't any doubt there. So it didn't come down to a referee's flag. It was just a bad, unfortunate play that Miami roughed the kicker and gave Buffalo the green light to keep the drive alive. They ultimately scored on that drive, and then they only won by 10 points.
Yep.
I mean, it was a kind of game, and it was. Miami played them, and it was a very great game to watch, and it was competitive.
Yeah.
That's what I always love about the NFL, is the games are always usually competitive, unless it's, you get we'll get to the Chicago Bears here, because Caleb didn't play a bad game, but that team is bad.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I hate to flip.
I mean, but it's the same thing. I don't understand why they're bad, because the talent, they have talent on that football team. They had some injuries, but still they had enough to compete, not the way they were getting.
They got absolutely, I mean, we're jumping around in the NFL. We always do this anyway. But what happened? We got a great game with Miami, who's, they've got that poor coach, and I think he's a pretty good coach. They got him buried, and they've got him moved. He's fired already, all the experts say. Even though I think the GM down there, if they're going to fire him, they're going to fire both of them, but who knows?
Right.
But the point is, at least I thought, Miami played one really bad game, their first game of the year. But after that, they've played good games. It's just, they ran up against Buffalo. And who they lost to last week. Yeah, they played a pretty good game.
I forgot who they played last
week. Think here.
But they were in that game.
And they were in the game last week. The Patriots. They lost 33-27 in a game they probably should have won.
Yeah.
They lost to the Colts.
I think that went in overtime, didn't it?
I think it did.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think the New England game went in overtime.
It did go in. Yeah. So they haven't been blown out.
No.
I mean, the first game against the Colts.
Yeah, now they got took to the woodshed. I don't know what was going on there.
Wood taken to the woodshed in that game.
Blasted in that one.
They got absolutely destroyed in that game. But the point is, people just love to want to fire the coach. We in a society today, if it's not working, I got a friend of mine, a Cleveland Brown fan, he wants to fire Stefanski.
Yeah, I know.
He wants me to fire him for 2 years. He gives me reasons why they should fire him. I go, so who are they going to get? Like who's going to change it? Like, I think the problem is getting back with Chicago. It's Chicago. They find ways to screw things up. I don't know who. Like, the Jets are the same way. I think Aaron Glenn's going to be I think he could be a good coach, but it's the Jets.
Yeah,
You're coaching for the Jets. They find a way to screw things up. Like, the Bears are on that same level. It's like,
the only thing you could say different for the Bears is they had a time. At least you could say, you got to go way back to the 60s.
You got to go back
Jets. At least the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears had the great team there in the 80s that were really good.
And I don't know. And they had a couple teams in the 2000 and something where they went with the Colts in the Super Bowl. They lost.
Yeah, they lost.
But that team was not bad.
Lovie Smith got them to the Super Bowl. What was that, 2007?
Yeah.
With Rex Grossman as the starting quarterback and lost to Peyton Manning in a rainstorm down in Miami.
Yeah, and I can't see how Devin Hester returned that kickoff in that rainstorm.
No, and I still to this day can't figure that out.
I still see him cutting on grass, and it's not slipping. He's not even slipping.
It's like he's on air. Yeah, he's like in a whole different.
Yeah, that's how great he was when you see a guy go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and he really didn't have he was a kick. I mean, he could play offense, he could play defense, he could play any of those skill positions, but he was a factor. He was a game changer. Unbelievable, but I don't know. They had these big laws of years. I mean, decades. They don't play well. They don't do the right things. They make bad choices. Look, then they get good for a little bit. Then they go back to their terrible.
Back to being bad.
And I'm talking about this goes way back to the 60s, which is Sayers and Buckets and all them.
They were never good.
Yeah. I mean, it just didn't understand it. They got Peyton. They were kind of good at first, and they slacked off. It was terrible. Then they got great. Then it was back. I mean, just back and forth. They tried to hold on to that for a while with Peyton and then Neil Anderson and all them in the backfield. They had a pretty good team, but man, I don't know what goes on with that organization.
Chicago Bears. I remember I was a kid, but I do remember the game. It was the first game I really watched. 1963 championship game. They were playing the New York Giants. I was a little kid, 7 years old. We're downstairs in the family room. My father and I were watching the game. The Giants lost 14-10. And they needed a touchdown to win the game, and they could not score that touchdown. A field goal wasn't going to win it for them. But I remember the game just, rooting for the Giants, obviously.
Right.
But then if you take, I was like thinking this, if you take that was 1963. After that, though, the team just fell on hard times, yet they had Butkus. They drafted Butkus and Sayers after that. The team was awful. I mean, you had two Hall of Famers, Sayers and Butkus, and the team, I believe, they had one season, they were 1-13.
Yeah, and the thing I don't understand about that team, they drafted those guys, but they still had guys like, really going to outdate myself, but I'm going to tell you, this guy was a Hall of, well, I think he did make the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure, but defensive end and Ed O'Brabovich.
Yeah.
And they had linebackers like, I think, Doug Buffone along with Dick Butkus.
With Butkus, yeah.
I'm like, right. They had performers on that team. Yeah. They were terrible back then, and I don't understand it.
I never understand it.
I mean, even Ditka was still playing until he finally went to Dallas. Said, "Hey,
I think Ditka was on that. Yeah, I could pull up the roster right."
And we talking about Hall of Famers: O'Brabovich, Sayers, Butkus. I don't know Buffon did, but he was a high type guy on that team. You had Ditka. I mean,
it's like
they even had a quarterback, the first really big time running quarterback.
Bobby Douglas.
Bobby Douglas.
In the early 70s.
My goodness. And that team, their teams was never good.
But when you look at those teams, you take the Bears, they won the title back in 63, they were champs. The following year, 64, they went 5-9. Following year, they went 9-5, but they didn't get into the playoffs.
Wow,
The year
I didn't know
after,
they were that good.
yeah, I didn't think they were that good. The next year, they went 5-7-2. In 67, they went 7-6-1. They were 7-7 in 68. They were 1-13 in 69.
I remember that.
In 1970, they were 6-8, 71 6-8, 4-9-1 in 72, 3-11 in 73, 4-10 in 74, 4-10 in 75. 76, they went to 77-7. And then they actually, in 77, I remember this team.
They drafted Peyton that year?
Yeah, they drafted Peyton in 75.
75, okay.
They were 4-10 in 75. They drafted Walter Payton. He got them to 7-7. And the following year, they actually went 9-5, made the playoffs, which I remember that game, and they got absolutely destroyed by Dallas in the playoffs.
Yep, I remember that.
That I remember the game.
Yep.
It was 77 playoffs.
Yep.
And Bob Avellini was their quarterback.
Yep, I remember that.
Ed Payton and Dallas Cowboys. That was the year Dallas won it. They won it all.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dallas just destroyed everybody in the playoffs. They destroyed Chicago, and then they had just absolute. And then I would look to see who else they played, but they ultimately beat Denver in the
Yeah, the Orange Crush. They crushed them.
They crushed the Orange Crush in the Super Bowl.
I still see Dorsett doing.
Yep,
He's still spinning around.
Yep,
doing all
Tony
kind of stuff.
Dorsett is still, running down the field, untouched.
God.
But they beat their old teammate Craig Morton, who was the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos back in 1977. It was actually would have been the 78 Super Bowl, but it was 77 playoffs. And ultimately, he got, I think to this day, he probably has nightmares of Too Tall Jones and the Manster.
Yeah, Randy White.
Randy White, who he was... Randy White terrorized everybody. He was absolutely brutal. And him and Too Tall Jones, I believe they were the Cove Super Bowl MVPs that year.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like I said, to this day, the guy that really intimidated were those two guys, that Dallas defensive line.
Harvey Martin. That's just terrible. I'm just thinking about that. And I'm trying to think, was Henderson there yet? He might not. He might have been later. He might have been there, though. Hollywood could have been there then, but that team was loaded. I mean, they were just loaded, seriously. They had too much for
you had team. Tony Dorsett, who would have been a rookie.
Yeah, he was a rookie then. So I think they might still have Calvin Hill.
Yeah, they did, I believe.
I mean, it was just... They were loaded.
Look, they were an absolute loaded team. Maybe one of the best... I mean, I always love getting into one of the best teams ever.
Mm-hmm.
But, the Dallas basically, I remember now that I've pulled this up, the playoffs are real interesting because then Minnesota beat the L.A. Rams in the Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember that game. Because I was really thought this was going to be a great game. And I remember it was at visiting relatives then, and we were ready to watch the game. Dallas won 37-7 over Chicago. They were never Chicago. Bob Avellini was never I think he was running from Randy White and Too Tall Jones and Harvey Martin, and he's another quarterback that probably might have post-traumatic from that game because those guys just abused that Chicago. And then they ultimately Dallas beat Minnesota in the championship game 23-6. Minnesota was never in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they beat Dallas. They beat Denver in the Super Bowl 27-10. That was a blowout. That was not that close. Because the weird part was back in the AFC, Oakland beat Baltimore. I remember watching that game. That was a classic. Oakland won in overtime 37-31. They beat Burt Jones and Baltimore and Lydell Mitchell.
That's the great Dave Casper over the shoulder catch.
Yeah,
looking
I think
one
that
way,
was the
goes the other way, and he catches it, and unbelievable catch.
And then Oakland lost to Denver. And people to this day don't think Rob Lytle scored that touchdown.
I don't know if he did.
And I don't think he did. And to this Hey, there's Oakland fans.
Al Davis
still,
said, you wanted to get me. You wanted to get to these Raiders.
Al thought that the league had it in for him then and used that game as you NFL brass screwed me over, and we lost 20-17 on the touchdown that Rob Lytle did not score.
Yeah, I don't think he scored.
No, I don't think he did.
And I know they didn't. The replay wasn't back then.
No, they had no replay.
But when they showed on, they didn't have no replay for them to look at. But we could see the little stop back. You know how they show it, and you could see his helmet was over.
No, but the
ball wasn't nowhere near.
No, I remember watching. I'll pull that up again. But I got news for you.
Yeah,
I don't think he ever scored.
I don't think he scored either. And I mean, a lot of people, you're a Raider fan. That's probably,
Oh, yeah, and that was, And that was the other thing they always talk about with that whole thing, with that. I don't think he scored. And then there was the fumble in that game, too. That was the other thing in that game. I don't think he scored that touchdown. I'm going to have to look it up. But then he had there was a fumble that, non-fumble. He fumbled, but they said he was down and he was not.
Right.
And that was the other thing. That was on the goal line, yeah. I mean, that game, to this day, there are Raider fans to this day that will probably remember that game because they felt that they got screwed. They should have played Dallas and not. Maybe it would have been one of those better Super Bowls that the Raiders played Dallas.
Yeah. I always wanted them to play in the Super Bowl. I know that was at that time. That was the two teams that I liked.
The Raiders
and the Cowboys. That was the teams I liked, and I really wanted them to meet. Same thing with when the Raiders were, they're gonna think of that, and they're always gonna think of the Tom Brady tuck rule that I never heard of until that day. Never heard of that before because as all the football we've been seeing over the years, we done seen situations like what happened to Tom Brady. We have seen that before in many games. And I have never heard of the tuck rule in my life until that day. And nobody could tell me I ain't never seen that type of hit when Woodson got the ball from him. We have seen that many times in the NFL, and that was always truly was a fumble. I still remember Joe Cap getting hit like that, and it was a fumble.
It was a fumble.
And I said, I don't know. But there's a fact about one thing Al Davis said, and it is true. They did have something, a vendetta. There's no question about it. They didn't like him. And some of the things they did, even the late, what's the owner for Lamar Hunt, even though the Chiefs and the Raiders was, a brutal rivalry back in the day. Brutal. Those two guys, Al Davis and Lamar Hunt, were very good friends.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Them guys cared about each other. And I remember Lamar Hunt at that time even said, you got screwed.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, actually, it was the non-fumble. The Rob Lytle was
the non-fumble thing, yeah.
Was it? I thought there was a deal.
I thought it was at the goal line.
It was. It was. It
right?
was at the 2-yard line, and they said he did not fumble. And he did. And the Raiders but I thought there was, in that game, I have to go back, I thought there was a play. They said he scored a touchdown, and
he wasn't in.
He was not in, and they gave him a touchdown. And that was the other thing. And I think that might have been all part of this thing, but there was the non-fumble, and it was a fumble, but they said he didn't fumble because they didn't want the Raiders to win. At least that's what the Raiders said.
Yeah.
But sadly, that game, I always thought, the what if, I always go back to these Super Bowls, and I always go back to had the Raiders won that game against Broncos, and they got in against Dallas.
Yeah, what kind of game would that be?
What kind of game? I think that would have been a better game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because the Raiders
the way they
were tougher.
Yeah,
Jack Tatum, that team was just mean, and they could have matched physicality at Dallas. Denver couldn't, but boy, the Raiders could have.
For sure. Yep, for sure.
First half hour in the book. We're going to noon today, so 330-707-4202, Saturday Morning Sports Page. Back after this.
Nina's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard or call 234-254-8532.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Want to know what I like best about high school sports? I love watching my son run on the field. I love the fact that since he's been playing high school sports, he's making better decisions. And I love knowing that with the proper equipment, education, conditioning, and coaching, high school sports here in Ohio are safer than ever before. That's something I really love.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Saturday Morning Sports Page. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. 330-707-4202. Talking, obviously, football today. We're going to noon. Mm-hmm. So what that means is, like, we don't have to rush and get anything done today. So we're totally off the rails here. We're going to be talking about anything that pops up. Like I know we got a little crazy but talking about the Super Bowl, especially the 77 season, Dallas won a Super Bowl that was not competitive. What we could do maybe sometime in the future, talk about non-competitive Super Bowls, like what Super Bowls were really like bad, and what were good, and what were like really bad, like the top uncompetitive or non-competitive Super Bowls. What were like the top 10?
Yeah. Just hopefully.
I mean, I know the ones that jump right out at me that are so obvious.
The one you just said.
That one.
The
Chicago Bears. The San Francisco 49ers absolutely annihilating Denver.
Well, you know what?
55-10.
You can go and roll with Denver.
Actually, Denver had.
Right in a row.
They had bad ones because the Giant one, they got blown out in the second half by the Giants. The first half was fairly competitive.
Same with Washington.
But I think Washington isn't the,
or is it second quarter when they took
off? The second quarter they scored I think that's still a Super Bowl record.
30-something, right?
35 points. Doug Williams just lit them up like a Christmas tree.
And I still see Timmy Smith.
Yep.
Running
down
like crazy.
And Doug Williams hitting him in stride. And
Smith had the Super Bowl record, or do he still have it?
He might
as the most rush yards in the Super Bowl.
I think so.
I forgot it was 227 or 47. I forgot what it was. But he was just running, and Ricky Sanders running down the field for everything. And Doug Williams is putting it right on target. They got beat so bad. Denver, and then San Fran just said, okay, I'll put 55 on you. And those, you don't want to see a Super Bowl. You see, I'm seeing Jerry Rice just looking over his shoulder, just catching. It's
the most. It is still the record.
Oh, it is Timmy Smith?
Timmy Smith has 204 yards, is still a single record for the Super Bowl. 204 yards, most rushing yards in a Super Bowl. Timmy Smith.
Another game that I thought was going to be a good Super Bowl, and it was an absolute smash.
That was over halftime.
The Raiders against the Redskins.
Yeah, that was 1984. That 1984 Super Bowl, I thought I was all primed up.
Oh, I thought that was going to be good.
Never forget where I was.
Well, I was nervous on that one. I said, you got in trouble, boy.
Sitting in my apartment.
These Redskins is no joke.
Ready for that game. Thought this is going to be the Redskins were unbelievable players. They had a great year. Theismann and what's his name? Squire intercepted that ball.
Oh, yeah.
Right, I think before the half it was over.
Yeah, it was over.
He ran that in, and Theismann never saw him.
No. And then the reverse run with Marcus Allen, I still see him doing that, and just unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Okay, well, let's hit the phones. You're on the sports page. What's up?
Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Dave. How you guys doing this morning?
Hey, Irish Mike, what's up?
Been better. Obviously, tough start to the 2025 season for the Fighting Irish from Notre Dame, and I don't think there's a coach in America under more pressure now than defensive coordinator Chris Ash. He returned 7 or 8 starters on the defense, was ranked in the top 5 or 10 all last year in almost every category, and you've taken to the bottom 10 in the country because you changed a lot of the scheme when you said you weren't going to do that. I know it's not a very good player relationship with the coach now right now, guys. I know it's not pretty down there right now. Not pretty. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys are basically think that the defensive coordinator is full of cut, and they don't like him. They know they were successful last year, right, with a lot of the same personnel. And what changed? One guy, the coordinator, because Al Golden went to the Cincinnati Bengals to be defense coordinator in the NFL.
At the NFL, that's right.
Yeah.
And they're 0-2, and now...
And I can tell you this, Dave Clark, Marcus Freeman's been very actively involved this week on the defensive side of the ball. Extremely active. You know where I'm heading with this, right?
Yep. Well, he has to. I think if I come in as a defensive coordinator and the coordinator before that was so successful and the player, now that's the key. The big part is if there were new players coming in and I'm the new coordinator, I could change schemes because nobody's familiar with anything. Right. But,
correct, 100% correct.
But if you got guys that's already 7 to 8 starters, then I'm going to find out what I like to do that will fit what they do already. Keep it the same and then add some of your flavor to it because you are the defense coordinator. You got to put your stamp on it, but you can't just change everything. You change everything, and now you got guys not knowing their assignments, not familiar with everything, and you're a high-ranking team. Purdue couldn't come at a better time.
Yeah, you're right.
They couldn't. They needed it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, when Marcus Freeman hired him last January after Al Golden went off to the NFL, it was a surprise to a lot of people because Ash, obviously Ash was the DC with Luke Fickell when they won the title at Ohio State in 2014, and he was there in 2015 and had a lot of success, obviously, and with Urban. Before he left, he was at Wisconsin with Brent Bielema for several years, and then when Bielema took the Arkansas job, he went down there with him for a year, and then he came to Ohio State, and then obviously he was with Tom Herman at Texas for that year after Herman got fired. So he's been around the block in college football as far as being a defensive coordinator and understanding that, and so I know a lot of people were skeptical to hire in January. I wasn't as skeptical, I got to be honest with you, because he's been in a lot of schools and a lot of success, and he came. Let's face it. Marcus Freeman, when he hires guys, works through the Ohio State channels, whether it be Jim Truss or Urban Meyer, to get guys that they know that he could be comfortable with. And so that's probably one of the reasons why Ash got the job in the first place.
Right.
So, but it's been a very, very rocky start, to say the least. a lot of disappointed fans because the defense was supposed to be the strength of the team.
Yeah, and that's always good. And usually, when you come out of camp, any camp, I don't care at any level, usually the defense is ahead of the offense.
Correct.
So if you got a solid defense, you can survive a couple weeks off of the defense till your offense come up to snuff. But
sure.
You change everything. This is like you starting over. This is like taking baby steps, and now that they've been getting smacked around. I mean, I'm watching it, and it doesn't even look like the same.
And here's what you need to here's the thing now. When you look at their schedule,
you got to run the table. Obviously, you have to run the table.
You better hope.
Same as last year.
Yeah.
And you have to hope that USC is really a great team, maybe, and they are a top 10 team. You have to, which means you're going to stay up tonight at 11 o'clock to watch Michigan State USC because now you are going to be the biggest USC fan now till the end of the year till they lose to Notre Dame. You need USC to be really a great team because you're going to need that win on your schedule to get into maybe the playoff. If USC goes south and plays terrible and they're an average team, now Notre Dame's going to be on that fence. Are they going to make that, they're going to get in? Right. Now they got two bad losses. Mm-hmm. That's the key. Now you got to look at the landscape because you look at the balance of their schedule. Outside of maybe USC, the rest of these teams on there are like Boise State, NC State, Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Stanford, Syracuse.
Now Pitt has been okay, right? Did they lose to West Virginia last week?
Yeah, they lost to West Virginia in overtime.
That's what I thought in overtime.
I mean, they're not.
And I think, Pat, I would argue that a lot of the conferences, Big Ten and the SEC, they're going to cannibalize each other too, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what
there's going to be a lot of losses.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of good football teams this year that have 3 or 4 losses. You know that, right. I know that, just like in the NFL. And you know, so they'll be out of it. But I do think Notre Dame caught a break. And the one break they caught, guys, I don't know if you knew this stat, but they are the first team since 1988. So that's 37 years ago.
Right.
Which ironically is the last time Notre Dame won a national championship.
Right.
They're the first college football team in 37 years since 88 to be ranked in the top 25 at number 22 at 0-2 to start the season. They're still ranked 22 at 0-2.
22. Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why, guys, is, you guys watched the game like I did, and I know this was brought up on a lot of the talk shows, and, what are we doing here? And, of course, Twitter was active on Saturday night. When Texas A&M scored the game-winning touchdown with 10 seconds left on the 4th and goal from the 11, the left guard tackled the defensive tackle. Everybody in America,
they saw
even on
that.
I was watching guys go, now, that's holding. As soon as I saw it, on live, I didn't need a replay to tell me.
No, that's
and,
Yeah.
And 3 officials from the SEC missed it.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other officials, those retired guys who do stuff for NBC and CBS got on there and said, with a 4-man pass rush, okay, you got 3 guys. I don't know what they're looking at there, but basically, so that was an easy one to get. That was a layup. That was an easy one. That wasn't a hard one.
No, it wasn't questionable. No.
So they're going to benefit. People's eyes tell them, Texas A&M won, and A&M fans were upset, Pat, going in there. We won the game, blah, blah, blah. Officials miss calls all the time, blah, 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 and going all that other stuff. But that stays in people's minds.
Yeah.
What they saw. Instead of 4th and goal that would have been 4th and goal from the 21-yard line. Now, I know Alabama beat Auburn a couple years ago on a wild play, but 4th and goal from the 21 is very, very difficult to convert.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said, that's the other. That was an egregious hold. It wasn't close.
Yeah.
And it was, like I said, that's what drives fans crazy. And I know everyone says, well, you can't put the game in the hands of the officials. Yeah, okay, but they're supposed to not miss those calls. Like, that's not one
guys.
Right. And that's not question. That wasn't like, it wasn't one of those holds, well, it could have gone either way. No. That was like, that guy was tackled. It was a blown. The guy was, it was so painfully obvious. It's like, come on, guys. It's like, that's what drives people crazy sometimes. And You have people say, why don't they have challenge flags for that? Why can't?
Correct.
When you have
and that's coming, guys. That's coming. Don't we agree with that? That's coming.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem they had with it back in the NFL is with pass interference. None of those referees wanted to change it. Like that was because they felt they got like in there like, well, no, we're not ever changing. Like they had it in their mind they were never changing a pass interference, and so the NFL didn't have it anymore. It's because the year they put it in, the referees were never going to change it. Well, something like that. You mean to tell me if they had that as if they had that as a reviewable play, you can't tell me the referees would not change that? Then I mean that would even be like worse. I mean, no, we don't see holding. You'd have the people rioting in the stands. They'd be going crazy. They're watching the replay and they're seeing that. And afterwards, it's in this day and age with media, with all these what is it? Instagram, Facebook, people throw that stuff up right away. That's like everywhere. And people are watching that, and then they replay it in the stadium, and you have people going absolutely crazy. And that's what's driving everybody kind of crazy in some of this stuff, is that was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what, my dear friends are big Ohio State fans like you, Pat, and they text me, like, they don't even really like Notre Dame, to be honest with you.
Right.
And they text me right after that was bad.
Yeah. I mean, any person, no matter where who you root for or you don't root for, you hate, you see something like that, like you're going, no, that's holding. It's like, I don't care. I might not like Notre Dame. I might hate Notre Dame.
Right.
But when I see a play like that, I'm going to say, oh my God, that's holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And like Terry McCulloch said in his thing, he said, to be honest with you, I officiated 37 years, and he said, if you went to the rule book on holding, that would be the picture of it right there. That would be the sample of that is holding. So, but it doesn't take away from Chris Ash, struggling as defensive coordinator. So hopefully they get that turned around. So, are we going to do some picks now, guys, or what do we got?
Yeah, we're going to get the picks. We go to noon today, so we're going to. But I got you here. Yeah, we're gonna do the college picks right now since we have you here. There's a fly in this studio that's driving us crazy. But
we got bees in here.
Now we got a bee in here.
I didn't know I was coming to the bee factory.
Hey, we're gonna close the door here.
Do you want to close it? Keep the bee in here with us?
Oh my God.
No.
All right.
We'll be all right. We good.
We'll be all right. Keep an eye. Anyway, let's get to the picks. I think it's a solid weekend. I know some experts don't like college football this weekend. They've said that some of these games aren't any good.
How did we do last week? Do you have the total?
Yes, I do have last week.
I think it is a good week of
I think it's a good week. Last week, Irish Mike, you and Dave were very impressive. You were 6-3.
Okay.
Dave Clark was 7-2.
Woo, Dave Clark.
Oh man.
Oh, there's the B. Yeah. I was 4-5 last week, so I did not do good. I did good the previous week. Right now, Dave Clark and we did the first 3 weeks. We're 14-13, and then obviously you were 6-3. So that's what we did last week. And let's go to this week. We got the Texans at the Jags. I'm sorry, wrong. Being distracted right now. We have this, and we're trying to kill the bee as we're.
He's mad now.
And now he's got the bee upset. So anyway, let's get to the college here. Bear with me for a minute. Here it is, college, because we got pros, college, everything. Texas Tech at Utah minus 3.5. So Texas Tech is getting 3.5 on the road in Utah today at noon on Fox. Big game.
Yeah, big noon. I do. Oh,
I'm gonna go with Utah at home.
Man,
I think they find a way.
Yeah, I mean they're tough.
Texas
Tech is too. They can score.
Well, Texas Tech had 45 last. They beat Oregon State last week, 45-14, and then Utah beat Wyoming, 31-6. Yeah, so Utah and then they destroyed. They destroyed UCLA earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't get to UCLA's coach getting fired, Deshaun.
And so did Virginia Tech's coach. Hey, Virginia Tech's coach got fired too. But when you lose by 4 touchdowns at home to Old Dominion, like Virginia Tech did, and you lose by 4 touchdowns at home, like UCLA did to New Mexico, you're going to get fired.
Yeah,
okay?
you got
That's
to.
the way that's going to work.
Yeah. No question about that. You got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go. Yeah.
Major programs like that.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Yeah, you can't get beat like that.
Yes.
What do you think, Dave Clark?
Oh man,
I'll take Utah. They're at home. I'm going to go say, even though I don't like the hook, it's 3 and a hook. Texas Tech is getting 3 and a hook.
I'm gonna try Texas Tech.
Okay, Dave's going Texas Tech. Okay,
that's gonna be a good game.
Good game. Noon today on Fox. The other game noon on ABC is Arkansas at Memphis State, and Memphis State is getting 7 and a hook. So it's a home dog we have here. Home dog Memphis State getting 7 and a hook.
That could be a rivalry because that's right over the
that's
line.
Right on the line.
Right there.
Right, yeah, because Memphis is right
next to Arkansas. Oh man, they getting 7.5.
Yeah, Memphis State gets 7 and a hook at home,
and they're pretty good too.
I'll take Memphis at home. I know Notre Dame plays Arkansas down in Fayetteville next Saturday, so maybe they're looking ahead a little bit because that's going to be a big game, obviously for the first time Notre Dame's been to Arkansas forever. So I'm going to go with Memphis at home, take the points.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to take Memphis in the points, 7.5.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. I'll take Memphis too. Let's go to Maryland at Wisconsin. The other noon today, 9.5 now. Maryland gets 9.5. They got the quarterback.
Maryland gets 9.5.
Yeah, Maryland's at Wisconsin. They get 9.5.
I'll take Maryland at 9.5. I think Luke Fickell might be in trouble at the end of the season, guys.
Yeah, me too. We gotta. Yes, and I'm gonna take that too. I am taking Maryland also. 9.5. You better believe I'm gonna take that.
Let's move to.
Who do you take, Brent? Who are you taking, Pat?
I'll take Maryland too. I like the quarterback. I think he's. It's going to be a tough road game, but I don't know. I think Wisconsin. They got absolutely hammered by Bama last week, 38-14. Maryland beat Towson. I don't know where you draw from that. They're 3-0. They haven't really played anybody, but I'll take Maryland too. I like the quarterback. Let's go to SMU at TCU. Battle of the abbreviations. This is noon ESPN today. So these are all noon games. Got 4 noon games right off the top. SMU at TCU, and SMU's getting 6 and a hook on the road at TCU.
I'll take SMU in the points.
Okay. I'm going to take TCU.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go with TCU too.
Next one is Chapel Bill. Chapel Bill Belichick. North Carolina is at South Florida today. University of South Florida. And they are getting, make sure I have this right, I believe that's the 3:30 game on Fox, too. Yeah, that's the other thing. Belichick's like on primetime TV. 3:30 today on Fox, and North Carolina is getting 7 and a hook. No, I guess it's down to 6 and a hook.
6 and a hook.
They get 6 and a hook
against
the Knights of Central Florida, and they're at Central Florida. They're going to be playing in the heat.
Yeah,
but it's Central Florida laying 6 and a hook against the visiting.
Oh, okay. Wait, this is UCF. This is South Florida.
Yeah, this is UCF. This is the Central Florida.
Okay.
Did I say I might have said South? No, it's Central. Boy, they get these.
What's their record? Do you got a record?
Yeah, their record is 2-0.
Okay.
They beat North Carolina A&T last week. That's not the phone company, 68-7. But they played like the phone company. North Carolina A&T lost. UCF beat them. I always keep on thinking of Burger Chef. UCF. Anyway. UCF wins last week 68-7, and then Chapel Bill and North Carolina won last week against Richmond 41-6. North Carolina's 2-1 since the debacle against TCU, And then Central Florida is 2-0. They haven't.
I'll take Central Florida just because they're at home. I'll take Central Florida and lay the 6.5. So I'll take the Knights at home.
Yeah, it's
I'll take UCF at home.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know about. They didn't play anybody. North Carolina. I'm just. Yeah, give me them. Give me UCF.
Let's go to this one. Michigan at Nebraska.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
This should be good. This is 3:30 today on CBS. These are all national games.
That game is at Nebraska?
At Nebraska. I'll make sure. I believe Nebraska is. This is almost an even game. Nebraska's getting 1.5 points.
Oh, Nebraska's getting the points?
They get the 1.5.
I'm going to take them.
So Nebraska's home getting 1.5 points. You want Nebraska, Dave?
Yep.
I'll take Michigan, Pat. I'll take Michigan.
I'll have to take Michigan, too. Although I kind of want Nebraska to win.
I understand.
Auburn at Oklahoma, the other 3:30.
Yeah, that's a 3:30 game. I've seen them
game.
average.
That's going to be a good game, too. Oklahoma lays 6.5. So Auburn's getting 6.5 on the road in Oklahoma.
First road game for Auburn. I'm going to take the Oklahoma Sooners at home, and I'll lay the 6.5.
They both, 2-1?
3-0.
Oh, they both 3-0.
Both have not lost.
Auburn's first road game.
Yeah. Last week, Oklahoma beat Temple 42-3, and Auburn beat South Alabama 31-15. So they're all they're both 3-0. Yeah. You want Oklahoma?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Oklahoma. Oklahoma at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. I'll take and lay the points. Okay, this is the 7:30 game. There's two 7:30 ones we'll do. Florida at Miami. And
you know who I'm taking.
You know, Dave Clark's taking Miami.
You're gonna with my heart.
You're gonna lay the 7. You got to lay.
No, that's a lot.
7 and a hook.
Yeah, that's a lot to be giving Florida.
That's a lot of hook.
That's a whole. You need the hook.
Yeah,
that rivalry.
That's a big.
But I'm not going to go against.
No, you're not taking.
I'm just not going to go against them. That's all.
Okay. Irish Mike, what say you?
You know, I would take Miami as well at home. I think they're legit this year. They're a legit top 7-8 program for sure this year.
I'm picking Miami. That Florida coach is going to get fired.
Yeah.
Napier, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get. Sadly, they keep talking about it. They keep talking.
He's been hanging for about 3 years now.
I know.
This is about the third year like just hanging.
The 9 lives of the cat. Now, they keep talking about how they're going to fire him, and they keep wanting to say that there's people. Oh, he's going to get fired at halftime. Like they want to fire him. They're going to.
Yeah, no.
He's not even going to get the second half. You might have another coach come out. He's going to get fired at the halftime.
Yeah.
They just want to fire
that. Like that for a couple years for Napier. He's been hanging.
Yeah. The last one is, I ran out of that. The Illini. Illinois fighting Illini at the Hoosiers.
That's going to be a good one, I think, too.
And that one is the Hoosiers are basically laying 6 and a hook. So Illinois in Indiana.
Illinois is getting the points?
Illinois gets 6 and a hook. I'll take Illinois.
Yeah. I'll take Illinois.
Only thing I hate about it, I'm going to take them too. Their top defensive back is out, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Xavier Scott. He is no joke on the defense end. He's not. I don't think he's playing for Illinois today. But I still think you getting 6.5, you should be able to pull that one.
You're getting 6.5. I don't know how good Indiana really is. They didn't play anybody. They beat Indiana State last week 73-0.
Well, that's the way you do it.
Illinois won last week 38-0. So I don't know where you draw from any of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams that we don't know anything about.
No, you don't. Because these out-of-conference schedules are so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
But it's good they playing each other. So this
we'll
is
see
how
how
you find
good
out
they really
where
are.
Guys, I got to get running because I know it's the top of the hour. But after the top of the hour, could you talk about Arch Manning from Texas? You know what I mean? Everyone thought he was going to be a high draft pick next year, and he might get benched. He's been so bad.
He's been terrible.
I just want you guys to talk about that a little bit. Some of your thoughts on Arch Manning.
Well, I got news for you. I mean, he needs to play. He didn't play any. But you get into these people because he's manning. No, he hasn't. He played nobody in high school.
That's right.
This gets back
did
to
not
what we
play
see.
Against great competition.
No, his competition in high school was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now you're seeing.
And he's in his third year in college, guys. This is his third year in college.
Right.
He's at the bench 2 years.
Right. He's at the bench to learn.
Yeah.
But I mean, the grandfather was right. He needs another year under his belt.
And I mean, they just jumped to conclusions. Oh my goodness!
All right,
all right, Irish Mike.
Hey guys, have a great weekend.
All right.
Thanks for taking my call.
All right,
Irish Mike. That's second hour in the books.
Yeah,
not halftime. It is halftime.
Yeah, it's halftime.
Because we're going overtime.
That's right.
We have to figure out what the overtime rules are, though. Saturday morning sports page. Back after this on Western Reserve Radio.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem Sports Talk is on the iMedia1 Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it. Unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
If I could be you.
And you could be me for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way.
To get inside each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Saturday morning sports page back at you. 330-707-4202. Get in and talk sports. Give us a call. Tell us what's on your mind. As we motor through the weekend, we go to noon today, so we have overtime, Dave Clark.
Yep.
We're halftime. The fourth quarter, and then it's OT.
Yep. It's time for the third quarter now.
Yes, sir. Third quarter rolls. Yeah, let's talk. Why not? Arch Manning not playing well. Booed. People are booing him in Texas.
Yeah, well,
it is what it is. They pay their money and you don't play. That's what happens. You get booed.
Yeah, I mean that's
okay.
But
that's you know.
But that's them heaping the expectations on that kid because of his last name.
Yeah, that's it.
And he didn't have great. I mean, it's true. He did not play against stiff competition in high school, and it's like us watching our Division 7 team play a Division 1 or 2 team. They'll get destroyed, but they play all Division 7s or lower than that, and then go to a high stakes atmosphere like Texas or any of those big schools like that, and have to try to take this team to another level. But not only that, the pros is not even here, and he was already hadn't even started more than he started 2 games last year, but hadn't even started more than 2 games and was already talked about as being the number 1 pick in the NFL, and everybody's fighting to get that first slot.
He was gonna save the Dallas Cowboys because this is this whole thing with them. He was supposed to be the way it was supposed to happen is after Dallas traded away Micah.
Oh, with all the draft picks?
All the people out there on the Twitter and...
Well, they thought that. They thought Cleveland, too, because they had all the draft capital.
I keep saying, but you have all the Twitter, all the people in the internet are saying, what's going to happen is Dallas is going to rebuild. They're going to get out. They're going to have Dak's. They're already getting Dak the door, even though they got Dak for at least this year and next year on the contract. He ain't going anywhere. Right. But that didn't matter. Everybody was going, what's going to happen is Arch Manning will be great quarterback, the next coming, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever to play college football based on his gene pool.
Right.
But he was going to get, Jerry was going to draft him number 1 overall, trade all these picks, give all the picks, package all the picks up, get the number 1 pick in the 2026 draft, and he was going to take Arch Manning 2026, and Arch was going to come in and save the Dallas Cowboys. And
what stupidness.
Because I mean, you talk about every...
Dak is playing.
Dak's playing good. And that's the best part, even though they should... We'll get to that game. I got so much to talk about Dallas and the Giants. My God, Russell Wilson, I loved your play, but the moon ball in the overtime drove me crazy. But I digress. But getting back to Arch Manning, everybody had him saving the Dallas. I had this. People were jumping on this. He's going to save the Dallas Cowboys. Like what? Huh? Like did I miss something here? Like what happened? Like, and the reality is he is learning the position. And that's what it is. He's, I'm not going to say he's not that good. I said he's just got the learning curve, and he's got to understand that this is college Steve. He's not playing the competition he had in high school. He's playing SEC competition, which I can argue is probably, of all college competition, the best. Right. SEC top to bottom is, and has been and always will be, the best college football division in college. That's the way it is. and he's playing the best there is, and he's struggling, and he hasn't even started to play really good. He hasn't even played the good competition. He played Ohio State. Then he's played like San Jose State.
No top.
And he's struggling against the average to the below average competition that you should be blowing out, and he's having a hard time.
He's having a hard time, and that's because he's not ready.
He's not ready.
And this, I'm gonna take, and this is sad to say, but I am gonna say this. It's like having him. It's like, let's say he was playing for Cardinal Mooney here, so people will be familiar with it. Playing St. Christine's. That's a junior high team. People don't know. That's a junior high school. So that's what he was playing against.
Right.
That's the type what I'm gonna use and then he goes to big time ball, and you want him to lead. I mean, it's nowhere near a Dak Prescott. You could just forget that at this time. And to be honest with you, when they was talking about the other team, which is the Browns, loading up on draft picks, he's not better than Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders. I wouldn't want him starting. What you done seen now, there's no way he would be in front of neither one of those guys. But the Browns want to draft him to be the savior for the Cleveland Browns? Are you kidding me?
Look, here's reality. He needs to play another year. He needs this year under his belt, and he has to have.
You only got one more season after that, right?
Does he got another year?
I don't know.
He might need them all.
He might.
I mean, the way he look, he's going to have to make some drastic
He
changes.
needs
His fundamentals is way
the
off.
fundamentals look off.
You see his delivery.
Yeah,
his delivery.
bad.
I know guys throw it 3/4. They do all kind of things with the arm angles. I mean, guys got talent these days. They throw it all kind of angles.
They do.
But his just looks like something's wrong. It comes out funny. It comes out low. It's in the dirt. It's all kind of. He just doesn't look right.
He needs to play.
He missed guys wide open.
Maybe he needs a new offensive coordinator. I don't know. Quarterback coach.
I mean,
I don't know.
Well, it might be that because the coordination, you got to be able to put the ball on the guy, and he's not able to.
And he's not doing it.
Right.
So he needs more playing time, more games.
Yep.
He might need. I think I've seen it. You see it. I think he needs another year after this year. I think his grandfather came out and said that, and he was right. And he's, right now he's a struggling young quarterback, and I don't know, he may just never be that good. There's a possibility that he just may not be a good quarterback. I mean, people are so funny because they just think, oh, he should be, he's going to be better than his uncles. No, he may not even be that good at all. I mean, he just may not be, because expectations to me are through the roof here because of his last name, sadly. And he just may not be that good of a quarterback at that level, because you've seen, how many times have we seen athletes coming out of high school that were supposed to be like the next coming of, the 5-star can't miss player that goes to the school and he can't even break. He's a second string player.
Right.
Because he's just not that good.
Yeah. And it's all the competition too, because he's a 5-star, but it was in where he played at.
Right.
In the competition he played. So he's 5-star in that. But that 5-star might only be 1-star at the higher level. So that's what I'm saying. So you don't know until you get him to compete against him.
We don't know if he's hit his peak. I mean, that's the other thing. This is the thing.
He shouldn't. He's a young kid. He shouldn't. But his fundamental. I look at his mechanics. They're off bad.
But the point is, there's a possibility he's just not that good. I mean, did anyone ever just realize that that's a possibility, that this kid is just not that good of a quarterback? He's just, everybody keeps saying he's great. He's going to save the Cowboys. He's the next coming of, he's going to be better than Eli, better than Peyton, better than his uncles, better than his grandfather. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's just not that good.
Yeah.
Like there is a possibility Arch Manning is just not, he's going to be what he is, an average quarterback struggling at Texas. Maybe he'll learn. Maybe maybe I'm dead wrong. Yeah. Maybe this kid will develop. Maybe he just has not hit his stage yet of where he's going to start to take off. And then maybe he will really develop into a great quarterback. And he could. Yeah, but the other side of the coin is he's not. He's just not that good.
Yeah. When I seen Joe Klatt and Chris Sims going over like the fundamentals of having a good base as a quarterback when you're throwing the football, and to see what they were showing, and then seeing him, it was so weird. They were doing that interview, and I hope somebody will see it. It's with Joe Namath and a couple other guys. Why his feet all off like they are?
He's not. His mechanics are bad.
They're bad. And what's weird about that, you got the Manning Academy.
Right.
You know he goes there. How in the world is his mechanics that bad? I mean, so far off and everything. It looks like he definitely has arm strength. So if he can get his fundamentals together, get those things under wraps, maybe, just maybe, he can be the quarterback that they think he could be. But they just put everything on him because of his name, and that was just wrong.
And that's the problem. And he's under the microscope.
So everything.
Let me ask you a question. What other college quarterback is being examined by Klatt and Sims like this? Nobody is.
Yeah. Well, they did. Actually 5 guys.
Okay.
And he was one.
Right.
But they were just trying to show that they have him, and then you have these other guys nobody's talking about.
Right.
You know, they put Nussmeier. They show,
right.
and showing how this guy, how he improved from where he was.
Right.
And, and it's just,
well, man,
I mean,
and
I
that's
don't know.
what it is.
And maybe he can improve, but there's no
right.
way they could see that he needs to be even thinking about an NFL career.
No.
At this time, he should just concentrate on the rest of his college games he has now and definitely consider playing again next year. Because, he doesn't have a reason he has to jump and go get money. They have money, so he needs to just stay in college. He's making enough money there anyway.
Well, and that's the other thing. He's making more money. The reality is he's making more money right now with NIL than he could probably be making as under a rookie contract in the NFL. That's what Ewers is finding. Is he's the backup in Miami Dolphins. He took a pay cut because he's a 7th round pick. So
right.
His NFL, and even Shedeur Sanders probably took a pay cut to play for the Browns because he made more money in NIL, and so did Quentin Ewers when they were in college as quarterbacks. And Quentin Ewers is thinking, maybe I should have stayed in college another year. Money-wise, I'd be making more money, and then I would have another year under my belt.
Yep.
Maybe I would have been a higher draft pick, but he fell to the 7th round, and that's where he is.
Yep, and it's something. I mean, they looked at the different quarterbacks, and it's just they looked at I can't think of the guy's name, but it's quarterback for Arizona. And nobody was talking about him before. They watched how his mechanics are so good. And he's having a great season out there at Arizona. And he was a guy that they thought might go to transfer portal, might do different things. He didn't. He stayed right at Arizona. After losing his top receiver, McMillan, went to the Carolina in the first round. They just keep on rolling. And he is throwing the ball. I watched him a couple weeks ago. The guy can. He definitely didn't. And they talked about him and looking at, that was nobody that anybody considered. Nobody considered anything with him. That guy's been showing that he's a guy that can maybe be able to play at the next level. So it's just that they don't. It's just basically off the name, and it's sad. But let the guy.
Well,
develop.
You're talking the Arizona quarterback.
Yep.
Is Noah. Is it Fifta?
Yeah, it's.
F-I.
Yeah, I forgot how it's pronounced though, but that guy can.
Maybe I don't know how to. Yeah,
yeah.
I apologize on the announcing, but of the pronunciation of his name, but it's Fifita.
Yeah,
Fifita.
Or something. I forgot how they pronounce it though. It's a little different than that, but I remember watching them play against Colorado last year. Colorado played Arizona, played well, and Dion just loved him. He said he was doing an interview after Colorado beat them. He said he just loved that guy. That guy is just has that type of poise and all over him. You can just see it, and you can. The guy could just play.
He's only 5'10".
Yep, and that's what he's saying. Even though he is that size, they're talking about his size, but to be able to, he shows that ability like Drew Brees and Russell Wilson to be able to throw in lanes and know how to play behind big, massive offensive lines like he got at Arizona. Those are the guys, he said, you look at him and look at his fundamentals. He's got a better fundamentally sound than Manning is. That's what they're saying. And that's what they did. They try to look at other guys that people are not talking about.
Right. Yeah, and here's a young man, like I said. He's out. He can play. He's eligible for the 2026 draft, but he's not saying if he's going yet.
Yeah.
He may decide to stay in Arizona for another year. He can, or he can come out. He said the only being a significant hurdle is his size. He's only 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
So wait and see how that develops. But here's another situation where getting back to Manning is, I really think he just needs more time playing at that level. He just hasn't played at that level, and he's learning the position, and he will develop. I think he'll be a fine quarterback. He'll develop it. there's realities though to life. Is he might be like what he is. He might be an average quarterback.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, just because he got that name.
Just because his last name is Manning, and granted the sad part is the expectations, because of, sadly, the media, the reality of what the time we live in.
Well, they just automatically think that's what it's going to be. And
Right.
I done seen it at all kind of guys. I remember Walter Payton's son. I remember O.J. Simpson's son.
Right.
All these guys went and played. O.J. Simpson's son was highly ranked to do something. I think he played a year or two,
Right.
and he didn't even play no more college football because it wasn't him. See, and that's the same thing for Walter Payton. So he did get to the NFL, played maybe a season.
Yeah, I think he had a
season or two maybe, and that was it.
Right.
But I mean, they was looking for him at the Hurricane.
Jarrett
to be
Payton.
Walter Payton. He's
No,
not
he
Walter Payton.
No, he was he played. He was a pretty good college player.
Right.
But again, that's such a big jump.
It's a big jump, and
When
sometimes I feel bad for the kids
because the expectation.
Yep.
And then they act like, well, you're a failure because you didn't achieve what we think you should achieve.
Yeah.
When the reality is, the kid was a good college player playing. That's still, to me, a pretty good accomplishment to play at a Miami, Florida, at that level.
Yeah.
Just because he's not NFL, I mean, that doesn't. I mean, to me, that's nothing, because a good college player, they have succeeded.
Right.
Getting into the NFL is just, people don't realize how great you are
to get in there.
To get into the NFL and make a roster is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You are a superior athlete on so many levels to play either an NBA, NFL, or even Major League Baseball. If you make it up to that level and could play if you play a couple of years, you're still doing really, I mean, you've done really well.
Yeah.
Because that's it. That's the cream of the crop. That is like it. I mean, if you make it to the NFL and even get on a roster and even make it, you've done a lot. That's like, you are in a very, very small percentage of people to do that.
Yeah. And I mean, and people that's what people don't understand. I know I used to hear people say, well, you didn't get to see, you played in the USFL, you did this, but you didn't get to stay and play in the NFL. I mean, I'm happy with where I'm at, what I was able to do. And I know for a fact, I remember being at this event they had downtown for the boxers. They did a event for Boom Boom, Jeff Lampkin, and all the champions we had. And I went down to that event and was able out there to talk to those guys. And we was talking about me playing sports, them boxing. But I already know it was an accomplishment for me to play football, because that definitely was not my best sport. What those guys did was my best sport was boxing. We was talking about we all boxed in the Golden Gloves. That was my best sport. But I did not have the discipline to stay away from the table. And stay away from weights, because you need to stay in a certain weight class.
That's a weight class thing.
And I just couldn't do it.
That's hard.
156,
your body's,
I couldn't do it.
And that's the other thing, is your body is building and developing.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
And it's not even a way. Sometimes it's not even. You can't almost. There's something that you can't control, if based on your heredity, your genes, where you're going to just develop into a certain size, because that's basically who you are. I mean, your body wise, and it's almost sometimes in cases to stay at a certain weight physically.
I couldn't do it.
It's hard to do because of your body weight, and maybe your, again, hereditary. Your father, your mother are certain. You have their genes, and you are going to develop into a certain size, and you can't be at 156 because your body won't even let you. Regardless of diet, your body won't let you do that. It won't.
And I thought that's what it was going to be, but I think I got some of my genes. Well, you do get some of your genes from your grandparents.
Right.
And my grandfather was a bigger guy, thick, real thick. My dad was a professional fighter.
Right.
All my brothers was boxers. All of us boxed. So that was just something that was in our genes. But my body would not. I mean, it was like I was starving. I mean,
And you still put weight. You couldn't do it.
And I said, I'm not fighting heavyweight.
No.
At my size, I wasn't going to do that.
No.
So, next best thing, I like contact. So, football looks pretty good. You get to hit people all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So, I said, then that's what I'll get to do. That's what I'll do. But I know that wasn't the best thing for me. The things that I could have done to a higher degree would have been boxing, but nope, I couldn't sit and starve myself.
Right.
I just couldn't do it.
And like in all probability, even if you tried that, your body would still gain the weight.
Yeah, probably would have gained the weight.
You gained it anyway.
Or I would have it might have did something detrimental to me too.
Or then you have that problem where if you're trying to keep your body a certain weight, it could have an adverse effect on you physically, which, could create other problems. So, I mean, boxing is a whole different.
Yeah, it's a different sport. It's
different sport
but I liked
together.
It
but
because I didn't have to. You defend on your cornerman, help you know what to do, but it's all on you. Right. I didn't got to look for the safety or somebody to help me out. It's all on you. You get beat down or you don't. Right. So it was a great sport.
Great sport. Right. It's just like I said. Some people, it's just you can't do certain sports, like I said, boxing, especially because that's weight class driven.
Yep.
Where football, you've got more leeway to put weight on and gain it, and then muscle and do it and keep your speed. It's different than boxing, especially like you said, you knew you couldn't box heavyweights.
Yeah, I wasn't
so
that.
You didn't want to get into that class. And to me, of all the sports, they were talking about difficult sport, or I think boxing is like one of the most physically demanding sports out there.
Yeah, it is. It's
ever. And one of the hardest sports skill-wise is baseball. Yeah. Trying to hit a baseball coming at you at 100 miles an hour or 95 miles an hour that's why when players get up to the major league and some people go, they never made it. The fact that they got close to that is unbelievable because of that skill set is unbelievable to do that, to hit a baseball consistently at 90, 95 with it coming at you, cutting and curving.
Yeah. I mean,
and then to hit it out of a ballpark. Yeah. I mean, as much as, not to go too off the proverbial range here, but Barry Bonds, I know he took the steroids. He was a great player before the steroids. He could just hit the ball farther with the steroids and drive it farther back into the stand.
And when the people told me he was I read something.
He was a great player.
They said he was an average guy before he took the steroids.
No.
I said, well, who were you guys watching?
No, he was not.
I said he was never average.
He was never an average player. Sadly, he was a Hall of Famer before he ever took.
Anything. Yeah, he didn't have to take any.
No, he was a great player. But he made the sport so darn entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I mean, baseball, like there's this thing about baseball's better with steroids.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
It was.
But they said, I was reading the thing that
I liked it better.
They heard that the pitchers actually started taking steroids before some of the hitters.
Yeah.
And then the hitters said, they got advantage. We're going to start doing it.
That's why there's people that argue you should just allow Clemens and Bonds and all those guys.
Yeah, come on, man.
All of them, put them in the hall because they don't know. And a lot of them say Selig knew it, and I believe he did.
I did too.
They all knew they were doing it, but the sport was still suffering from the strike back in 1994.
And they was making big time money.
And they needed it to get back into the interest level with the fans because people were just turned it off and said, I don't care. And nobody went to the ballparks. They needed to get the interest back, and they started with McGuire and Sosa in 98 with the big home run chase. Mm-hmm. And then Bonds came along, and then everybody loved Barry Bonds for hitting those homers. Come on.
Yep. Oh, yeah, it was lovely.
I mean, I used to love watching him. I used to watch games that he played. I didn't care. I wanted to see him play.
Hit it in the water all the time.
Hit it in the water in San Francisco. You don't even do that anymore, right? And everybody liked it, and everybody watched it. And I mean, Bonds is never really media friendly type of guy. He gets surly with the media,
and that's the same.
But so what? But he was a great player. You can't take that away from him.
People would want to be honest. They
They love to say that. Boy, he took steroids. No, you know for a fact that he's a Hall of Fame player.
He's without it.
You just want to say something negative just to say it. I mean, that's just
like Roger Clemens was a Hall of Famer.
He was a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he didn't.
Just put him, man. Just bite the bullet. If you're thinking about putting Pete Rose in now that he's dead, now they're going to talk about putting him in. Okay.
And I'm looking at Roger. Okay, he took steroids, but that might have helped prolong his career.
He prolonged his career a little bit
with steroids more than trying to overpower people. He was already overpowering them
when he was younger.
Right.
When he was younger.
Come on, man.
I mean, those guys are great players. If they want to put Pete in, then you might as well put Bonds.
Yeah, well, right. If you put them in, you might as well.
If you want to put it on their plaque, so what?
Whatever.
I mean,
and Albert Bell never.
Albert Bell belongs in. Yeah,
he won't get it either.
No, that's another. Yeah, he didn't even do anything. Saturday Morning Sports Page, third quarter in the books. Back after this timeout on Western Reserve Radio.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Sherman Gillums Jr., Paralyzed Veterans of America.
For more than 70 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has helped hundreds of thousands of veterans get all the benefits they have earned.
Al Kovac Jr., Paralyzed Veterans of America.
We provide one-on-one support tailored to your individual needs, including healthcare advocacy, benefits support, and career assistance.
For more information, call 1-800-424-8200 or visit pva.org. A public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Saturday Morning Sports Page back at you, 330-707-4202. Looking around high school football. I'll look at maybe some of the scores here in a bit. Interesting games that went on last night around the Valley, this area. But getting back, we were talking baseball a little bit on some players that probably belong in the Hall of Fame. Albert Bell's one of them. Mm-hmm. Although I'll tell you one thing, Dave Clark, I was looking on the internet and I was watching, there was about a little 3-minute thing on Bo Jackson, highlights of Bo Jackson, football and baseball highlights. Just.
Where did you see that on, you said?
It was YouTube.
Oh, God.
And they had like a 3-minute snippet.
Yeah.
On Bo Jackson, highlights, football, and baseball. I laughed because he was unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
His football, what he did on the football field, it's so sad. He had the injury to the hip and ended his career, his football, and then his baseball career. He played with the hip, the artificial hip, for a while. But if he had not had the injury and played both sports, he would have been Hall of Fame. I would say he'd be the first ballot Hall of Famer in both sports.
Yeah.
Not close.
Yeah.
He was an absolute, Bo Jackson was an absolute freak baseball player. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he would have, the thing with Jackson, he was so raw when he started, and he just you could see him getting better and better and better.
Yep.
And then what he did in the field, and he had an arm that I never saw.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how.
What he would throw guys out.
Deep in the corner. He get the ball deep in the corner.
He had that one against Harold Reynolds to this day that nobody could believe. Harold Reynolds to this day didn't believe. They were trying to argue the call. Because Harold Reynolds, then nobody believed it. Because that throw to nail Harold Reynolds at home when he was with Seattle. Harold Reynolds was with Seattle and Bo was with Kansas City. And that throw, I watch that on YouTube all the time. And it just, and they're all arguing. Even the manager of the Seattle Mariners is out on that field.
Yeah.
And he's with the umpire, and the umpire is shaking, no, he's out. And Harold Reynolds, they're all yelling at the ump. And they show it on slow motion. That, they show it over and over.
Yeah.
Harold Reynolds was out. He had him. Yeah. And Bo Jackson was by the wall in left, I believe it was left field.
In the corner. Deep in there.
And he threw a ball that was a rocket. I can't ever remember a play.
Because that ball did not bounce or anything.
I don't believe it bounced.
Right to him, I thought.
I got to look it up. I don't know if it was a one bouncer or it was a direct shot.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I know it got there, and it got there in a
hurry. And Harold Reynolds is out yelling at the umpire when he was out, and you see it. And then when you see it on replay, that ball was just like I never saw a player throw a baseball like that distance and get the guy at home.
Yeah, I know.
And I always, to this day,
that distant and that accurate.
Yep, and that accurate.
Yeah. The guy was something different. I mean, they even show, if you ever get a chance to and look up Bo Jackson, they'll show him where he's doing archery.
Yeah.
With his feet.
Yeah.
Hitting bullseyes. He's playing a guy who's shooting the arrows.
Yep.
Throwing them. And he's using his feet to do it. And he beats him. He's hitting bullseye after bullseye. Playing that. I mean, this guy was from somewhere else. I'm just convinced this guy was not your common. And see, that's why you don't see that. You just don't see it for years and years. So when they talking about Red Grange and different guys, and oh man, and then you don't never see that again. See, it's almost in the once in a lifetime type cycle. Bo comes along. Now I probably never see a guy during my lifetime. Now maybe my kids will see it. Somebody. They'll come along down the road like that, but my goodness.
I'm looking at it now. Lefevre is the manager of the Seattle Mariners, and he's out yelling at the umpire. And Bo, I'm trying to see if the ball bounced in on a one bouncer. Bo was in the corner, in the left field corner by the wall, and the umpires just keep saying, no, you're out. I'm looking to see if this ball bounced. And and you see this on slow motion. Harold Reynolds was running on the pitch, and he's out. He's out 100 times, and he's out by about 3 feet. I just can't see if the ball bounced or not.
Yeah.
But Bo was in the corner by the wall.
Right.
And he throws this ball, and Harold Reynolds was running on the pitch.
Yeah, and he was on the third base, right?
Yeah. And he was at first base running on the pitch, coming all the way around.
Yep.
And Bo Jackson, it was a hit in the corner, like a double. And Reynolds was trying to score from first, and Bo Jackson fields the ball in the left field corner by the wall. That's how far he was.
Right.
And he throws this ball, I think it was a one bouncer, into the catcher. Perfect catcher has him, and you could see it. He had Harold Reynolds out 3 feet before and you could see the manager is out there yelling. Lefevre was the manager for the he was the manager for the Mariners at the time, and he's just going crazy, and he's kind of like yelling at the umpire, and it's just brutal. and the sad part is he's out.
Yep.
And Bo Jackson made this play, and then there's that one where him running up the wall.
Yeah, I love that one.
But it's just like I said, when you go back and think of players, if Bo Jackson had any career in both sports and football, he was unbelievable. He's a Hall of Famer probably in both sports.
Yep.
Not even close.
I believe so.
Like I said, unbelievable talent. Sliding over, we're talking about Bo. Got on a little track of the who belongs in the Hall of Fame. I'm really not a Hall of Fame person per se. I mean, I think there's a lot of players out there that should be in the Hall of Fame in either sport. And then there's players that get in the Hall of Fame and you're like, yeah, they shouldn't be, but they get in. And a lot of it gets into politics. Some people get in, some people don't. But anyway, getting over a bit, sliding over to the MASH unit known as the NFL quarterback, Dave Clark.
These guys are banged up.
Unbelievable. Justin Fields for the Jets won't play. He's got concussion protocol.
Yeah.
He's out.
Right.
Tyrod Taylor will be starting for the New York Jets this week, and we'll get to the games. McCarthy for the Minnesota Vikings is out.
He's out.
And Carson Wentz will be the starter. And I saw that this is an NFL record. He's setting an NFL record because he will start for the 6th team in 6 years.
Wow.
And
because he did start for the Chiefs. He had to, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz, this is the 6th team he will start for, and that's an NFL record.
Wow.
And he will be the quarterback, and it looks like McCarthy could be out. He's got, I believe, the high ankle sprain.
Yeah, those don't come back.
They are tough.
That could be 3 to 5 weeks anywhere in there.
Yep. So he will be out probably, at least they said 2 to 4, 3 to 5, who knows, but high ankle sprains just can drive. And he's coming off that meniscus tear from last year, and he's struggling. Mm-hmm. And he struggled the other night against Atlanta, and they got beat by Michael Penix. And it looks like, Kirk Cousins' phone is not ringing. They said Atlanta wants too much for him, and teams aren't motivated, or they don't want to give up that much and take the salary on. So we'll see what happens, though. That can change.
Right.
But Jen Daniels for the Washingtons is out. Mm-hmm. He will not play. And he's hurt. I got to look at what was his injury. But he's hurt. So Marcus Mariota. Yeah, is Daniels Jaden Daniels
thought it was an ankle, but I'm not sure.
Was it yeah. Could be an ankle, but he's out.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Mariota was
Marcus Mariota will now be your quarterback for the Washingtons. They're not really the Commanders, but I like them when they were Washington football team.
I don't like that.
I like that better than the Commanders.
Yeah.
I just
wish they'd go back to who they were.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
a lot of people.
Fans.
Come on, man.
See what happens there. I know there's a lot of discussion going on there.
Yep.
But then the other one I think is probably the biggest injury. I shouldn't say biggest, but Joe Burrow being out 3 months. They think it's 3 months. They don't know yet.
Right.
They're saying 3 months with a toe. Mm-hmm. And Browning is now going to be.
And he played well
and
when he
played
had to
pretty
before.
Good.
Yeah.
But he's the man.
Yeah, he's going to have to be the guy. Because Joe Burrow could be out for the season.
He could be out, right.
It's a possibility, like they said. So
they don't know yet because they said 3 months, but they had the surgery. And Brady Quinn said that toe injury will affect him for the rest of his career. That type of injury it will affect him. It will have an effect on him even when he's so-called, cured, if that's quite term I can use, but he will have that injury. He'll know it. That basically injury, sadly, ended Jack Lambert's career. Because I remember reading about Jack Lambert, and the turf toe made him retire. Right. He fought. He wanted to come back from that. He tried to come back. It was just too painful and too much of a hindrance for him to play. He couldn't play the position any longer the way he wanted to, and he had to retire. But that was what did him in was the turf toe.
Right. Well, I mean, that's been a big injury for a lot of people. I mean, that people don't realize, they don't even bring him up, but that's what happened to Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
He had the turf toe situation, and people remember when he was in Washington himself, he played an entire season with that thing and shouldn't have, they said. And then he retired, but then came back and was able to play, I think, 2 years with the Ravens.
Right.
And then went on back out from that. And then now you see in his post-football life, that same foot is the one he had to get stuff amputated from because of all that back when he had turf toe. He had a bad injury of turf toe, and it's something, Now, other people have come back. That's what I say. I mean, Joe Burrow, you never know. I mean, things like I understand Brady Quinn saying that, but technology is so advanced every single day that we don't know what might happen to Joe Burrow. He may be able to come back and withstand whatever. They devise so many things now, even make shoes a certain way so these guys will have the comfort. So, but when you look at things on just regular, you would think it's going to be tough. But it's like one guy said, I forgot who it was. He said, he hates to put the label on Joe Burrow, but he said, I have to. He's injury prone.
He is.
I mean, he said, I don't want to say it, but he is. He said the guy gets injured. He's the only quarterback he knows to get injured, not because he's running the ball like Lamar Jackson or trying. He's a guy that's trying to move around in the pocket, and he gets injured all the time.
I know.
I mean, he does all kinds of things, and he gets injured.
And he gets hurt.
Yeah.
He just has that, sadly.
He just got that label that it just happens to him.
He just can't.
He can't stay healthy.
Can't stay healthy. Other injuries, we talked Burrow with the toe. Jaden Daniels, you were right. He has a knee sprain. He will not play this week against the Packers. Marcus Mariota will take over. Justin Fields is out with a concussion. And then it's Tyrod Taylor. And
that guy knows to stay in he stays in the league. He does well. He plays well.
Tyrod's, yeah.
Tyrod always plays.
And Tyrod will make the Jets competitive.
Yep.
They play the Buccaneers at Tampa. We'll see how that goes. Mm-hmm. JJ McCarthy is out with a high ankle sprain. And I saw that's 2 to 4 weeks. And they think they go over to London and play. And they're thinking he won't play over there. Time. And I think he'll play when they get back. And that's like 4 weeks away, 5 weeks away. So JJ's probably going to be out with that for at least 2 to probably 4 weeks. Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
He's another one out with a toe injury, and he will miss this week. They said, I know Kyle Shanahan said that he could potentially be like an emergency replacement if they have to. But Mac Jones will now be the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Mm-hmm. He was last year. Last week they won.
Right.
So that's the quarterback that Kyle Shanahan wanted to draft and was overridden by Lynch, the GM, and now Kyle's got his guy that he wanted to draft.
Right.
Kyle thinks that he could do something with Mac Jones. Maybe he can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be a situation we've talked about time and time again where it's the quarterback fitting the system, getting the kind of the round peg, square hole thing, but you're getting the right player in with the right system.
And then it makes the player confident because he knew this guy wanted him.
Right.
You know, it makes you feel a certain kind of way. You see a guy, they originally wanted you. He was overruled, just like you said, in the draft room. But that's who he wanted to get. Because he said he fits what I like to do.
And maybe it's going to be a good thing. You know, in fairness to Mac Jones, you remember Matt Patricia was the offensive coordinator when he was with New England.
Yeah, no.
And Mac Jones, I remember being very adamant and upset that, like, this guy doesn't really, I'm paraphrasing, but he felt that, I'll go out on a limb and say he felt that Matt Patricia didn't know what he was doing as an offensive coordinator. Yeah. And he probably was right.
Yeah.
Because Matt Patricia is I think he's a great defensive coordinator, but Belichick had him doing offensive coordinator. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, we could poke.
And I remember Bill Belichick saying, all he could do, if he could do defense, he'll know exactly what the offense that can beat certain defense. Well, that still don't mean you could be the coordinator.
No.
Because you got to coordinate things. That's why it's called coordinator. No. You got to coordinate offensively, and that's a different thing. So.
Right. Matt Patricia is a very good defensive coordinator. Yeah. He's with I see he's done great with Ohio State. Mm-hmm. He's a great NFL defensive coordinator. Not a good head coach, but a very good top-notch defensive and I could keep saying defense.
Right.
Not offense. Keep him where he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, you know.
Right. So bottom line is Mac Jones now has got a guy, Kyle Shanahan, who's the offensive guru, quarterback whisperer guy. Mm-hmm. This will be interesting to see how Mac Jones does.
Right. Right.
With Kyle Shanahan's system. Because I think Mac Jones can play quarterback in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I think he went into a bad situation in New England. I think Belichick is a great coach, but I think he struggled with his quarterbacks. Brady, I think he left Brady alone because he had Daniels as the offensive coordinator.
Right.
And Brady and Daniels worked really good together. Mm-hmm. Josh McDaniels. So bottom line is, Belichick, to me, Belichick's a defensive guy. Yeah. That's his forte.
Right. Right.
So now Mac Jones is with an offensive guy, Shanahan. So I'll like to see if he makes a comeback here with the Niners and plays good.
Yeah, and it's possible.
And it's that's the thing too. The Niners have the Cardinals this week.
And that's a big game.
Big game. That's the 4:25 game. That's the Cardinals coming off a big win over the Panthers, and the Niners beat the Saints.
And they're both 2-0, right?
Yep, they're both 2-0. And that, like I said, that's up against the Cowboys at the Bears, which is the other 4:25 game. That's the main game on 4:25, Cowboys at the Bears.
Okay.
And then the big game is we'll get to it the Sunday in this third in the overtime. We'll talk about the NFL games because you got the Chiefs are at the Giants. And did you know that the Chiefs are 0-7 against the Giants when playing in, MetLife / the Meadowlands? They're 0-7.
Okay.
Playing in New York against the Giants.
That's weird.
That is unbelievable.
Now, it could be one of them with Mahomes. I'm not sure.
I have to. I can pull up. I don't.
I thought he was
they don't play the Giants. The thing is, they don't really play.
I think they did it. I'm not sure if he may not have lost to them.
I think
he might have. I don't know if he lost once. I don't know why I seen someone said 6-1, but maybe not. Maybe that wasn't.
They were talking about it yesterday, and I thought that was really And I thought that was a basic thing. Yeah, here it is. The Giants are undefeated at home. They're 7-0 against the Chiefs in East Rutherford. The most recent matchup was 2021. Giants lost in Kansas City 20-17. Patrick Mahomes has only played the Giants once, and they won the game, but that was in Kansas City.
Okay.
So Patrick Mahomes has never played the Giants in the Meadowlands. So this is the first time that Patrick Mahomes will be playing the New York Giants in the Meadowlands.
Okay.
But historically, the Giants, they are undefeated against Kansas City when playing against in the Meadowlands. They're 7-0.
Yeah, that's weird.
So could this be and the Giants are getting 5.5 points, 6.5 points. So this will be a good game. It's a Sunday nighter.
Yeah.
Giants had that game against Dallas. We'll get to it. Win a game. Should have won a game they should have won. Being a Giant fan that I am,
good guys kicking 64-yarders,
but
and everything like that.
And there's a lot of chatter on that it's almost getting too easy for these field goal kickers. And you have a kickoff, the team gets it at the 35, they make 2 or 3 plays, and boom, you're in field goal range.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what they did against the Giants. They got the ball, and they made 2 plays, and that guy and
2 first downs.
Two first downs, and he kicked the 65-yarder to tie it.
Well, they're always going to boost up. The rules are going to boost up the offense.
Always.
You're not worrying about boosting up no defense.
No.
You're just going to have to try to figure out how you can stop these guys because they want scoring all over the board. That's what they want. That's what sells. So, and it shouldn't be like that because defense can sell too. Yeah, but I'm a defensive guy, so that's just how I feel. But
that's just the way it is.
Yeah, but offenses will sell. They like to see the touchdowns, just like we talked about, just like you said earlier about Barry Bonds. People love to come to the park to see the home run. They're not coming to see a guy throw. It's nice to see a no-hitter.
No.
But they're not worried about it. They love to see those balls get knocked out of the park. So football, that's what they want to see. No. They love to see some 38-35 games. That's what they love.
They want to see. They want to see.
They
want to see scoring.
Yep.
That's what's driving the ratings.
Yep.
That's what drives the. I'd like to say that's what's driving the boat.
That's why you thought they was going to take out kickoffs for a lot. And for a minute, you thought they was going to eliminate kickoffs, but they had to figure out a way. They watched some of the other leagues, our spring leagues, and how innovative they was. They said, hey, we got to put this in there so we can get kickoff returns. Now you see a lot of kickoff returns. But like you said, if they get the ball, they get it at 35. But I think if they kick it in the landing zone,
right,
or out of the landing zone, they get it at the 40.
Yeah, they get it at the 40.
I mean, 2 first downs, you're field goal range.
You're definitely field goal range.
You're field goal range with ease then.
Easy. With these guys now.
These guys kick. Oh, he's almost 59-yarder.
Yeah.
It hits the net.
Right, and that's the thing. When you see some of these field goals that they're kicking from 59 to 60, you look at them and they're good from 70.
Oh, easy.
They're bombs. And they are going, like you said, they're hitting the net from 60, 65, which means they have at least another 5, 10 yards easy.
Yeah.
Then you're thinking, well, wait a minute, if that's from 65 and that guy's hitting the net, then what's that thing good from 70, 75? I mean, you're almost starting to look and say it's almost getting crazy. Now there's, some radio talk people think that they need to do something about it and change it.
Do?
I don't know what they could do.
What you gonna make?
I mean,
we're gonna go to CFL, make the end zone 15 yards. Yeah, they're gonna make it 15 yards deep.
Push the goalposts back.
Yeah, I mean, what you gonna do? There's nothing you could do.
The kickers are just that much better.
I mean, we think about Tom Dempsey with the half foot.
Yeah.
Kicking a 63, and it just gets over the
1970.
Bar. Yeah. He gets it, and you think, and it was just amazing to see guys kick 59 yards. It's like, oh. But now That's nothing.
That's
Guys trot on the field. They bring the field goal unit out. This will be a 62-yard. Boom. No problem.
They don't.
I don't even know what the longest field goal is now.
Have to look it up.
Because the Aubrey 64 last week did not break a record, right?
No, it did not.
Okay, so I don't even know what it is no more. It's so ridiculous.
Overtime is upon us. Saturday morning sports page. We'll be back. We'll do the NFL games. It's the third hour of the Saturday morning sports page. Stay with us. 330-707-4202. Back after this. Observe Radio.
To the stations that are always ahead of the game. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Saturday morning sports page coming right back at you. 330-707-4202. Dave Clark, you were saying the longest is Tucker.
Yeah,
longest
Justin
field
Tucker.
goal. And that was
September
at
26, 2021.
66 yards.
Yep.
Justin
Baltimore
Tucker.
Ravens, longest he kicked the field goal to end the game to beat the Detroit Lions, 1917. Baltimore Ravens won.
And then there was a 70-yarder was kicked in 2025 preseason by Cam Little.
Yep. 70-yarder.
70-yarder, but
that was this year.
That was this year in
They showed
preseason.
That, yep. That was against the Steelers. Because I watched that game.
Yeah.
It was the Steelers and them playing. And I was watching that preseason game, and he kicked that thing, and
the Jags.
And it had some yardage on it. I mean, it didn't like just barely make it over. These guys, I don't know what they. rockets. They kick rockets now. I don't know. Is that helium in the balls or what? I don't know.
Well, now there's talk about one because people are getting upset. They should deflate the balls. And the balls are obviously when they're hard, so they can kick them farther. They think if they have less air in them, they won't go as far.
Right.
So they're talking about maybe they need to deflate the ball. We're back to Deflategate.
Just leave it like it is.
Leave it alone.
Leave it like it is.
No.
You just get a great kicker. That's all you got to get. Yeah. Everybody has.
That's all you need to do is get a great kicker.
Yep.
We talked a little bit beginning. High school football. Local, then I do want to give my friend out there in Indiana, New Palestine, Indiana, his son, Kyle Ralph, who played NFL football. He played for North Carolina and then did have an NFL career. He played with Seattle. And then injuries, like most, it seems like, most players, injuries drive them out of the league. I mean, he got in, played a couple of years, but sadly the injuries did him in, and he's now a high school coach doing an unbelievable, great job out in Indiana. Kyle Ralph, New Palestine won last night. They played a very good Pendleton Heights team, 42-6, and they destroyed them. And Pendleton Heights pretty good. So New Palestine is undefeated. They are the Red Dragons or the Dragons, and they keep winning, and they keep winning very big. Some of the local schools here. Interesting. Poland again had a big win last night against Hubbard. In fact, it was 42-14, and I thought that would be a closer game because Hubbard came in to the game 4-0. Poland had 3-1. They lost last week to Canfield, but it was never much of a game. Poland went up big, and they won really pretty much going away 42-14 on a game that really wasn't ever very close. So Poland, I think they were up halftime 35-7. So not Canfield, but Hubbard could just they were never really in the game.
Yeah.
And that's high school football, such a different, because you can get teams, you look at Dave Clark, you did a game last night, 2 undefeated teams.
Yep. And you think,
and
hey, we are into something.
You thought, okay, you've had a rough patch this year with doing competitive games. You've had
all of them
have been really blowouts.
And Garaway is that, and when you think of Garaway, they have a reputation of having a great program.
History, Garaway.
They did much in
Is
the
it
playoff.
Sugar Creek?
Sugar Creek, Garaway.
Sugar Creek, Garaway.
Yep.
If you look at their history, they have a really good history of putting some really good teams together. Very competitive and a very good.
Always in the state playoffs.
Right.
Doing great. So you figure, okay, they're 4-0. Gerard's been playing the 4-0, but then Mark did a great thing. He said, let me check the records of the teams they played and see what they did. And when he did it, he had to take one off for Garaway because they played a team that didn't count for computer points, a team out of West Virginia. So their combined record of the teams they played was 2-12.
Okay.
And Gerard's was 4-12. So we looked at it and said, okay, we'll find out in this game how good or who's the better team, 4-0 team. Well, it wasn't even close. I mean, Gerard just completely dominated them in every phase of the game. I mean, just dominated them. So
49-7.
Yeah. I mean, those guys. So we said, okay, well, that's the first half of the season. We're going to take it as that. We're going to erase that thing because it's been terrible. I said, Jim, it's going to be tough for Jim to have us go out to games because fans, as soon as they see me and Mark, they're going to say, get those guys out of here.
Get them out of here.
Because
you're going to get banned.
Somebody's going to get blasted tonight. Which team, who knows? Doesn't matter what your record is. Somebody's getting blown out because that's all we had. So we hoping from here on out, the last half, the next 5 games will be some competitive games. I think we got 5. It might be 6 because I think we got a 2-on-1 week at a Thursday and Friday there. So, but however it goes,
we're looking for something. So Jackson Milton, Springfield, we hoping that'd be a good one. And then the week after, we have South Range in Girard. And we thought that should be good. So we're hoping the second half of the season be a lot kinder to us. And if not, we're going to have to check and do a drug test of the guy who is putting these games together.
Yeah, I think we need to do an investigation of that maybe anyway. Yeah, we need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope this guy is tuning in, listening right now.
Should be.
I know he's on his way to South Bend for Notre Dame and Purdue right now, but if he's listening.
Oh, okay. He's making the trip out.
Yes, it's the guy that's making a trip out.
Making the road trip.
Yeah. I'm pulling for him though for the second half that he's going to do all right.
Maybe you'll have some better games here because you've had some bad luck with competitive games. But it's just the way it is. It's high school football.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, you just don't know how good the teams are, and sometimes their records don't really reflect and they have no control over the opponents they play. They play who they play.
Right. Yep.
But the opponents might not be very good opponents.
Yep.
And, high school is, sadly, I think what you're really seeing more of is you're seeing a lot of kids not playing high school football for whatever reasons. And so a lot of these schools just don't have the players playing, and therefore the teams aren't that good.
Yeah.
And, you have some of the teams have gone to 7-on-7. I think it was Sebring is now in a 7-on-7 league.
Yeah.
And because they couldn't field a full team. It's just the kids weren't going out and they weren't very competitive. It's just because if you don't have the players to play, how do you field the team?
I look at a school like Waterloo.
Yeah.
Waterloo had to cancel last week. They played yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
But last week they canceled because they didn't have enough players.
Right.
Now, when I coached at Camel, we went to play Waterloo at Waterloo.
Right.
And I remember we came out, and I think we had about almost near 50 on our roster at Camel. They came out right after we did. And it's about 40-something guys. We said, okay. But that was just part of their team. The next line of guys came out, it was like 30 more. It's like they had near 70 guys. And then I looked, that's 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
And now, this time, they come out, and they didn't even have 14 players. They only had like 11 or 12 guys. That's why they had to cancel last week.
They didn't have enough players.
They didn't have enough players to actually put, to play the positions
they
play.
Right.
They didn't have them. So they had to cancel. They had to forfeit that game. They played last night. I don't know how many players they were able to play with, but I'm looking at a program that had that amount of players to go down to that. I don't know where they're located, exactly who's around them. Are they getting there's, are they players being going elsewhere to play at different programs and they're losing their players? I don't know what's going on, but it is sad that you just don't see all the schools having the amount of players they need. And it's sad. And it used to not be like that, but there's a lot of them not playing or they're getting all their players taken from them.
Well, it could be that too.
That's rough.
It could be a situation where you have players deciding to go to other schools, and then that depletes the current team roster-wise, and so then ultimately they can't field the team because, Waterloo, they were supposed to play New Middletown, the Springfield Tigers, last week on that would have been the 9-12 games, and it was canceled. Waterloo at that time was 0-4. Waterloo is actually, the Waterloo Vikings are located in Atwater, Ohio. They're in Portage County.
Yep.
Sadly, they played last night Mineral Ridge, but they lost 51-6, and they are 0-5. 0-4. They're 0-4 going in.
Yeah, it's sad,
And next week, they're hosting McDonald's, who's 5-0.
Oh my goodness!
So, sadly,
I just feel they playing McDonald.
Yeah, they play home. They have at least it's a home game, a travel game for McDonald. But McDonald is 5-0.
Oh, and I'm gonna tell you, you talking about a team that is.
And Jackson
cover them. They are so efficient on their offense, and they spread the ball around with everybody. Just forget it. It's
yeah. They built.
They're getting in 60s.
They had the They lost. They beat. I'm sorry. McDonald won last night. 27-18 over Jackson Milton. So they won.
Okay.
They beat Jackson Milton.
Well, yeah. Well, I look for a good game then. Jackson Milton
so they're playing
them a good
Jackson
game.
Milton will be playing Springfield next week.
Yeah. So hopefully we are on the road to
Maybe
recover.
you'll have a good game. Springfield is also 2-2. They lost to Lakeview in overtime, and then they lost to Garrettsville. So Springfield has 2 losses and 2 wins, and Waterloo was the canceled game. So Springfield Tigers go into a 2-2. Jackson Milton's 3-2.
Oh yeah,
that should be hopefully
that should be a good matchup.
That will give you the competitive matchup you guys are hoping for because you definitely need it.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, because you can't be singing "Turn Out the Lights," the party, the old Dandy Don, "Turn Out the Lights."
We turn out the lights in the first quarter.
Yeah,
our games have been turn out the lights first quarter.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's really bad. You know, it's bad when Mark and I started looking at people in the stands.
Right.
Say, yeah, I think I remember that guy. He used to coach that somewhere. I mean, that's bad on the broadcast, but it has happened.
I tell you, man, high school football, like I said, looking at some of the local scores out there, Boardman got beat by Cuyahoga Academy.
Oh, they came in and beat them. Huh?
Yeah, they beat them, and actually they beat them 42-10.
Wow.
So Boardman took a
that's tough. There.
That took a whooping. That's kind of a tough loss.
Yeah, it is.
Again, it's. But let me see. You've got other scores out there. Fitch beat Akron Buchtel 48-6. Canfield came back. But they won 35-21, a very tough game with Cheney. Cheney was actually leading that game
leading at
one point, and Canfield came back and won.
And you said that the final score was 35?
35-21.
Yeah, and I think they were up 21-14.
Yeah.
So
Cheney was up 21-14 at one point.
21 unanswered.
And they came back. Canfield came back. They are undefeated. Canfield is. Crestview shut out Southeast 42-0. Columbiana shut out Latonia 35-0. Grove City beat Fort LaBeouf 14-6 over in PA. Garfield beat Champion 56 to my screen just jumped on me. But 56, I believe, to 21-22. Garfield beat Champion 56-22. Wilmington beat Grand Valley 49-13. Girard beat Garaway 49-7. Hubbard lost to Poland 42-14. McDonald beat Jackson Milton, we mentioned 27-18. Lakeview beat Niles 35-7. Liberty beat Brookfield 43-14. Fairport Harding won 48-0 over Matthews. LeBray beat Newton Falls 41-6. Mineral Ridge beat Waterloo 51-6. We mentioned it. United beat Lisbon 34-14, and East Palestine beat Southern 49-12, and then South Range beat Struthers 43-14. That's what you got kind of going on in the high school. West Branch beat Howland 48-7, and then Youngstown East beat Shaw 46-12.
Well, you know, East has only lost to Canfield and Poland.
Yes.
That's their only loss.
That's their only loss is Canfield and Poland. That's right.
Yep. Only 2 teams they've lost to.
It's, I'll tell you, high school football is such an interesting kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
And what you run into.
Man.
That some of these teams, you just don't really know.
Yeah.
week 4, it starts to evolve, but not necessarily like you ran into last night.
No, that was
supposed
shocking.
to be a decent matchup.
Yeah, I thought it'd be, and then we both picked Girard to win. We thought they would win, being at home, but we thought we was going to see a nice, probably high scoring game in a competitive game. But it was a distinct difference. I mean, you talking about efficient. Girard is just efficient with a 10th grade first time starter at quarterback. And like I said, he got 1,300 yards in how many? I think this 5 games. Because that was the 5th week last night. 1,300 and something yards and passing, 13 touchdowns. And he's rushed for 12 touchdowns and over 700 yards rushing. And he's a 10th grader. And he was throwing the receivers that he was throwing to for touchdown deep. They're 9th and 10th graders.
Wow.
It's just unbelievable. His seniors, they weren't the guys. It was all these
all underclassmen.
This team could be good for a long time.
So you got a team in the
Yeah, he got a team in the future. The guys who was making the big plays for him were freshmen and sophomores. And this is unbelievable. I think a couple juniors that showed things, but their seniors were good, but there's not a lot of them that start. They're more younger football team.
Crew.
And they're undefeated, so coaches got to be very happy.
He's got to be happy.
What he has. Yep.
That'll be interesting to see how they make out. Like I said, we're already halfway home. High school football is 5 weeks. I can't even believe that. But that is the 10 fastest weeks in the calendar.
Yeah,
it always is that way. I don't know what
I don't
it
understand
is.
it. I mean,
the 10 weeks, maybe because they start in mid-August, but you're getting into, and then before you know it,
it's over.
It's over, and it's not, the cold weather's not here yet, and it's halfway over. It's crazy. High school football that's the 10th fastest week on sports calendar ever.
And just think, next weekend is the last weekend of September.
Yeah.
And then we're headed right into October.
Yep,
I don't know where it goes.
Nope.
But it flies by.
Speaking of that, let's slide over to the NFL. Look at the games. Packers are at the Browns. Let's start. 1 o'clock.
Let's start what? Would we start?
Start our picks.
Oh, these
Just
guys.
For the record.
What is Flacco? I see Flacco. You know what? I feel sorry for Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I know.
When you are a statue and you got to come and play against the Green Bay Packers with Micah Parsons, Gary from the other side, Van Ness,
Van
who
Ness
can play on the outside, inside.
Yeah, he's all over,
And then Edgerrin Cooper, the ex-Buckeye.
Yeah.
What are you, man, you got to have your insurance paid up because it's not good. This is not good. This is not good. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not beating the Green Bay Packers. So why aren't we starting Dylan Gabriel?
Well,
just start the procedures off. See how Dylan does. If he snatches that job and does good, then he's your quarterback. If he flounders, you bring in Shador and see what he got. Before you start talking about some Manning or whoever you want to talk about.
Right, because
this is just delaying the whole situation.
Here's the deal.
Defense is good, though.
Defense is good.
Whew.
Their schedule, the Browns, have a brutal schedule.
Oh, brutal.
What they're really going to run up against is, it's like, kind of they're in the Giants and them are in that same category. Giants have Jackson Dart. When do you start him? When do you pull Russell Wilson? Jackson Dart. You don't even know Jameis Winston's on the team any longer, but he's supposed to be. He's a backup to Wilson, but nobody cares because it's just Dart.
Right.
Same thing here with Cleveland because next year's draft is supposed to be chock full of quarterbacks all ready to come into the NFL and light it on fire. I've heard that before, and half the time that never happens. The point on it is this, is these guys, it's just, how long does Flacco go? Do you see what you got? Because you're going to see if either Dylan and the Browns, Dylan Gabriel or Shador, and if they're not the guys, you're back at it next year, drafting one of the guys coming out that's supposed to be better. Good luck. But anyway, that's what's going to happen. The Packers, on the other end, we know that that's probably now Micah Parsons after watching them dismantle Washington on Thursday night, 27-18. And the Browns got absolutely destroyed by the Ravens Sunday. The question here is, when do Shador or Dillon get the start? And then the Packers, it's just a matter of beat the Browns. They're at Cleveland. Only question, if you're a Brown fan or a Packer fan or a betting man, it's 7 and a hook. So the question is, can the Browns make it respectable, bounce back, play them like they played the Bengals and maybe make it a closer game, lose? Could they beat the Packers? I don't know. At this day and age, it's the NFL. That's one thing I love about the NFL. You just never know with these teams what they can do.
If they can muster some type of offense,
and if they can give Flacco some kind of protection, like you said, muster an offense, and have Flacco not get hurt and play good without getting, but Flacco's an old pro. Maybe he can move around and read the defense and make what he needs. But I don't know.
They got to be able to run the ball.
Right. He's going to have to run the ball, though, because you can't be looking at 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 too many often, because that's usually when the quarterback's dropping back.
Yeah, and you're going to get killed.
You're going to get killed.
Do that. So.
But anyway, Dave Clark.
I'm taking the Packers.
For the record.
I want to take the Browns. I do. I really want to take them because I've never seen a team waste defensive.
Yeah, they had defense.
I mean, for the last 4 years, they was a little off last year, but the years before that, they had championship caliber defense. Swartz had that defense where they was ready, but the offense was jacked up. And now you got it again. The defense, you could see they could play, but they can't be out there like that all day long.
Well, that's what happens. Watch the Cleveland Browns. It's like watching a lot of the Giants. Defense isn't a bad team, bad defense, but they're out there because the offense can't get the first downs and keep the defense off the field. They're doing 3 out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Yeah. This usually means that the defense in the second half wears down, and then that's where they get blown out. They play a good half, but the defense is, putting it together, but the defense wears out in the second half because the offense continues not to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
So this is, I have to go. The only reason I go with the Packers is because I think that at the end of the day, as much as that hook bothers me, and it is Cleveland, can the Packers have a little letdown? I kind of doubt it. I just don't know. I think the Packers defense and Micah Parsons and Carey, too much defense, and I think a lot of 3 and outs, and that Brown defense is going to wear out here, and then the Packers offense will take over. The next one is the Colts at the Titans, the 2-0 Colts, with the big win last week against the Denver Broncos, 29-28 on the 15-yard penalty on the field goal kick. Supposedly the guy jumped over.
Yeah, used leverage.
The leverage play that handed the Colts the win because the kicker missed the field goal from 61 yards, but the 15-yard made it a 46-yarder, and he made that. And the Titans lose. I mean, the Broncos lost 29-28. Colts win. Danny Dimes and the Colts are 2-0. And did you know that the Colts have not punted the ball yet this year?
Yeah, I seen that last night.
So now all of a sudden, Giant fans are saying, well, we knew Danny Dimes was good. It's, Danny Dimes is playing really good. Why is it that Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones go to other teams and play really good? What does that mean? What could you draw from that? But anyway, I digress. The Titans lost to the Rams last week, 33-19. So now the Titans are actually a home dog, getting 4.5 against the Colts in one of the interdivision games. And obviously the Colts winning this game will put a little leeway, a little room there as far as.
Yeah, kind of.
But the question is, do the Titans bounce back, or?
I mean, they could.
I guess the question comes down to, though, we need to look at, can the Titans lose, but do the Colts cover?
Yeah, that's what I was looking. I'm thinking
it's 4.5.
Right. I'm thinking the Colts is going to win the game.
Do they cover the 4.5?
Yeah, I'm just thinking the Titans might can make this.
Can they make it tight?
I think they could make it tighter than you think.
Yeah,
I'm something telling me to take the Titans
and lay the point and get the point
and get the points in this one. I
agree.
I think it can be in a 3-point game or something like that.
I think the Titans can keep it close. I'm taking the 4. Although part of me thinks I should just take the Colts, but I like the Titans at home getting the points.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Bengals and the Vikings. This is 1:00 on CBS. Colts at Titans, also a CBS game, 1:00. But let's get to the Bengals at the Vikings. We have the backups, the backup quarterbacks, Browning, and the
Carson
Wentz, and the Bengals. And the Bengals won last week, 31-27, and covered. And then the Vikings lost last Sunday night and the Falcons just basically just dominated them. And J.J. McCarthy doesn't look like he's ready. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's our music. We'll do it on the flip side of overtime. This is double overtime.
Yep.
We'll be back. Wrap it up. Saturday Morning Sports Page. Go until noon today on Western Reserve Radio.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
If I could be you,
and you could be me, for just 1 hour,
if you could find a way
to get inside each other's mind,
walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Nina's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard or call 234-254-8532.
So why do teenagers play high school sports?
My reason why is a sense of purpose.
My reason why is to inspire others.
One reason student athletes seldom mention is to get an athletic scholarship. They know that only 2% of all high school athletes are awarded a sports scholarship. So why do they play?
My reason why is friendship.
Tell us your reason using the hashtag #MyReasonWhy.
This message presented by the NFHS and the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Saturday Morning Sports Page. We're in double overtime, so this is till noon today, and getting to back to the NFL, what we like to do the best. We're at the Bengals at the Vikings. Bengals are getting 2 and a hook. Dave Clark, boy, the Vikings are 1-1. I mean, if you break the Viking season down right now, they've played one quarter. The Vikings have played one quarter of good football because they played 3 quarters against the Bears and they were getting beat soundly, and then woke up fourth quarter and played great, won the game going away against the Bears on that Monday night. However, last Sunday night, that Falcon defense, they've upgraded that defense immensely.
I got to give them credit because they
I
couldn't rush the passer before at all, but now these guys coming in waves. And they're rookies.
And I know.
They're coming. But they did have Leonard Floyd, a good veteran, and then you got the rookies with them, Pierce and William. I mean, them guys be coming.
Yep.
And they
I got to give the Falcons credit. They've upgraded that defense through the draft or made the right moves, and that is a different team altogether. And they just terrorized J.J. McCarthy, and the Vikings looked.
I mean, he would get the snap. As soon as he get the snap, it was like running for his life.
Yeah.
And Minnesota don't really have a need. They got to get Darisaw back, their top tackle. But their offensive line is really not bad. But they just coming. I mean, they're coming in groves. And he had no time at all. I don't even see how he can get comfortable with quarterback the way they were coming. They were coming like crazy. You couldn't even get your feet set.
No.
I'm going with the Bengals, though. I'm going to go with the Bengals. I've seen the Bengals perform with Jake Browning in the past, and those skill position guys were at the top of their game still. With him, he was able to work with them pretty good. So, Carson Wentz is a known veteran. I don't know what his timing is going to be because they got a great, receiving core too, but I don't know what his time is. Jake Browning has played with these guys in games.
He played a lot last year.
Yeah.
He played good, and he's played well. He has played very well with the Bengals. Like I said, granted, he may not be as good as Joe Burrow, but he's not. They don't lose a lot with the backup. There's not that big gap. I mean, there's a gap.
Yeah, it's a gap,
but he plays
he's not scared
well.
of the big moment, though.
And he won last week against the Jags. They came back. They won that game. Yeah, I got to go.
I'm going with them.
I'm going to take the Bengals and take the 2.5.
Yep.
Because although this could come down to a field goal and end up on the wrong end on the hook.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And that's what bothers me. But I haven't been impressed with the Vikings at all. Though they have not played that well. They played bad against the Chicago Bears, but one quarter, and the Bears were the Bears. They found a way to hand the game to the Vikings. And I kind of wonder how really good. After the Bears got absolutely boat raced by the Lions last week, I'm starting to wonder how really good are the Vikings because they beat a bad Bear team. So you start looking at that.
Yeah, sometimes I look at it, but it's the NFL.
But it is the NFL.
Last week they might look bad. This week they might not look the same.
And the Dolphins, everybody had the Dolphins buried, and they came back.
Yeah.
They played the Bills. We talked about it earlier. But a roughing the kicker penalty I believe, was the difference in that game. And if that doesn't happen, I think the Dolphins could have won that game. It doesn't go that way, but I'm just saying some of these games are so close they can come down to one call and one penalty or one mistake.
Right.
But let's move to this is the other team. Let's look at the Steelers at the Patriots. Let's look at the Steelers. Okay. They beat the Jets in New York first week, but the Jets played really good and lost. And the Steelers played good and won barely. Had a big field goal, 60-yarder to win it. But then you see what the Jets do last week against the Buffalo Bills, and they don't even show up, and they get absolutely handled. And then the Steelers lose to the Seahawks 31-17, and the Seahawks had lost to the 49ers earlier. So I don't think how good are really the Steelers? Their defense doesn't play that well. I mean, they gave up 31 points. This is the other thing. If you're a Steeler fan, the Steelers are always defense. You gave up 31 points to Seattle. Granted, one was on the kickoff where the young rookie makes the mistake of letting the ball. Okay. But they gave up, 24 points to the Seattle Seahawks. And we're like, how good are the Seahawks? And then obviously they beat the Jets, but how good are the Jets? But they gave up a lot of points when they beat the Jets. They beat the Jets. Let me look at the score. But they gave up a lot of points when they beat the Jets. I'll get the score in front of me. But that's the other part that I can't figure out is the Steelers. Yeah, they beat the Jets 34-32. They gave up 32 points to the Jets and 31 points to Seattle in 2 weeks. They've given up over 60 points.
And who did? And this Pittsburgh you talking about next?
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's given up. So they play the Patriots, who beat Dolphins last week 33-27.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost to the Raiders. It's the Patriots get 2.5.
Oh, the Patriots getting 2.5?
The Patriots get 2.5 at home. I don't know where to go.
I'm going to take the Patriots at home. It's hard to say what you can get, but I just take them at home. Maybe they could play. This going to be a nip into, but see, I can see Boswell kicking a field goal and winning by 3. I can see him because he's so consistent. I think it's going to be one of those close games like that too.
The Patriots had 30. They scored 33. It was 33-27 over Miami. Again, if I'm a Steeler fan, that defense isn't playing well.
Right.
They're giving up way too many points, week in and week out, and it was against the Jets. You gave up 32 points to the Jets. Granted, you won, and you give up 31 points to Seattle. I don't know how good they really are either, but I don't know where you go with any of this. I'll take Patriots just because they're home, but I'll go with you. My concern is the 2.5 the Patriots get. I could see the Steelers winning.
I can see it, Boswell kicking. I can, but I'm still take the Patriots. But I can see that happening.
I just like the Patriots at home. I don't know how good the Steelers are. I don't think it's the problem. Their offense isn't really the issue. It's more the defense.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next game. This is maybe the best game of the week. It should probably be a 4:00 game, but it's not. It should be prime time game, but it's not. Rams at the Eagles.
Yeah, that's just a 1:00 game.
1:00 game on Fox.
Yeah.
The Eagles.
That's surprising.
Rams come east. They get 3.5.
Oh,
and the Rams are 2-0. They beat the Titans last week 33-19. And the Eagles beat the Chiefs last week 20-17 in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
So Eagles obviously flying high for the Eagles. Yeah. Bottom line is they are playing the Rams. Stafford.
Yeah.
Rams could have beat them last year in the playoffs. Were in a position to win and had the center picked up the blitz in that game, they would have beaten the Eagles. He did not. So that's how close I think that game was last year against the Rams when they played them in the playoffs. But that gets us to this day and age right now. The Eagles give the Rams 3.5. Rams are coming east, though, 1:00. I don't know where you draw that. Although it seems McVay is able to coach around that, it seems.
Yeah. Yep, they do really well. And they get 3.5.
3.5. The Rams get 3.5. It's a roadie.
I'm going to still take.
I'm taking the Eagles because they're home.
Yeah, no,
But that hook is bothersome.
Yep, it does bother me. Because I think they match up well. Something about them. Oh, this is going to be a good one.
I mean, the Eagles' games have all been close. I mean, they beat Dallas by 4 points, and they beat the Chiefs by 3
points. Yeah.
So all their games have been tight.
Yeah, no.
They're not like blowing people away.
No.
The only thing is why I lean now that I'm talking it through, I lean a little bit with the Rams is because if it's a close game, 3.5.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said I don't like going against them, but I may take that because it's a 3.5.
Right.
You got the Eagles.
Yeah, I'll take the Eagles.
Yeah, they are at home. That's the thing I like, and it's an early.
It's an early game. It's the 1:00.
But I'll go ahead and take the points.
You're going to take the Rams. Okay. Let's move onward.
Sit and do it, but that's all right.
This will be the Jets at the Buccaneers. This is 6.5. Jets have Tyrod Taylor, and obviously the backup playing the Buccaneers, who had a really big win on Monday over the Texans 20-19. Now, on that game, I watched that game.
Mm-hmm.
You did. Now the word is that, you know how the Texans scored, so it seemed like, they ran that ball right in for the touchdown.
Nick Chubb. Mm-hmm.
Now the word is, and they wouldn't, they gave him that touchdown. They let him score it because they wanted the ball back, and they figured we needed the time. Let them score the touchdown. We'll get the ball back and drive the field and take our chances. They asked Todd Bowles that, and he wouldn't. He said, nah, he blew it off because no, we didn't do that. But people think they let Nick Chubb score. And when you look at the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was real easy.
It was easy. Like, he just ran the ball. It was like, no one's, like, what happened? Like, he handed the ball off, and he was, like, in the end zone in a flash.
Yeah.
And no one touched him.
No.
But now the word is, at least the speculation is, they let him score to get the ball back and win. Well, it worked out for them.
They were confident in their offense.
Yeah, they were confident in Baker Mayfield and that offense.
Now, I didn't see if got activated. Chris Godwin.
Okay.
And the reason I say that, you probably say, why are you talking about that? Well, Emeka Ibuka may not play. He's injured.
He's hurt.
And it's maybe a game time decision, or he might just hold him out. But he's playing in the position that Godwin plays.
Okay.
And if Godwin is now healthy enough to play,
yeah,
I think that's a big part of it. But they're loaded at receivers. They got all kind of guys to bring in. They are loaded. Because Godwin is an all-pro, but Ibuka is in their form, and he's having a great season.
He's a rookie.
And he's a rookie. And but I was thinking, if he's back, I don't think they miss a beat, and they'll take care of the Jets. I'm going to take them anyway. I'm going to take the Buccaneers anyway. Too. Until I see them get banged up. I just look, they are a dangerous team that could go to the Super Bowl. Seriously.
I do too.
People don't think about that, but they're good enough to do it.
I know the only thing that scares me with it is sometimes those teams that play Monday night, they have that bad hangover for the following Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm leaning on, I'm kind of debating.
6.5 points too,
6.5's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But I'll take the home team and the Bucs because I just think that, I don't know how good the Jets are. I mean, Tyrod's the backup. He'll give you a good game.
Yep.
He's a good backup. But I think that the Buccaneers are just on a better level. Let's go to the next game. The Raiders are at the Washingtons, and Washington's laying 2.5. The Raiders lost I watched that game Monday night.
I'm going to take them.
You like the Raiders?
Yeah, because I do think they're bounced back. I haven't seen
Washington's got the backup. Mariota is a pretty good backup.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I liked him when the Raiders had him. So
I like him, yeah, and he gives you a little different look.
I just don't think I haven't seen Geno at Seattle have like 2 horrific games. He was terrible Monday night.
He didn't look good Monday night.
He didn't look
at
that.
all. Boy,
that didn't help the defense at all.
No. So they were never.
They was never into it. No. So I don't see them playing that bad again on offense. So I'm going to go with them.
I'll take the Washingtons. I'm not really buying the Raiders coming east, 1:00 start on Fox. I don't know. But you're right. I'm kind of iffy because I don't know. It's not Jaden Daniels. It's Mariota's good though, but the Raiders should snap back from that ugly Monday night loss.
I just don't think they'll play like that.
That's
it. I mean, Washington still, they got a lot of talent, so they definitely can still win that. But I'm just going to take that flyer on the
Let's go to the next game. Falcons at the Panthers, 5.5. The Panthers get 5.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Falcons until I see something different.
Yeah, I got to go with Falcons. They look really good. The Panthers are not the good football team. They're maybe due for a good game. They're home getting 5.5, and the Falcons, their Sunday night game, 22-6, they dominated Minnesota, that defense, and I could just see them dominating Carolina. Carolina's really not a good football team. Let's go to the next one. The Texans are at the Jags, and I don't know where do you go with this one. The Texans, They don't have any running game. And it just seems they're struggling offensively. Stroud is just like trying to make things happen, and he's not playing that good, but the team's not playing well. They're 0-2. The Jags are 1-1. The Jags lost last week to the Bengals. And a game you could make an argument they should have won that game.
They should have. They should be 2-0.
They should be 2-0. They lost by 4 points. And the Jags are home. I don't know what you make of it. They're laying 1.5 to Texans.
This is hard. I mean,
this is the interdivision.
Yeah, and the Texans, it's time for them to win, but can they?
Right. They don't run the ball well.
It's just somebody.
It's putting a lot of pressure on Stroud. Their defense is okay.
Yeah, the defense is decent.
The offense just is not.
I'm gonna go one more week with the Texans.
All right.
I'll go one more week with them. I don't know. They can't run the ball that good.
Yeah, they would go to 0-3.
I'm glad to see Chubb out there, but it's not the Chubb.
No, he's not the Nick Chubb.
And they miss Joe Mixon so bad. It's not even funny.
I'm going to go with the Texans just because this is how I'm going to do this. I think it's more likely that the Texans are going to be 1-2 and the Jags are going to be 1-2 than the Jags to be 2-1 and the Texans to be 0-3.
Yeah.
I'm just using that philosophy here is statistically speaking, the Texans are a good enough team. They shouldn't be and won't be 0-3.
They should.
And the Jags really aren't that good to be 2-1. So I'll take the Texans because I think the Texans will end up winning the game and being 1-2.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean that front, that defensive line, that pass rush, it's got to come to their advantage soon. So I'm thinking this will be the one.
Let's go to the next game. The Broncos at the Bolts, and the Bolts lay 2.5. The Bolts are 2-0. The Broncos are 1-1. They should be 2-0, but they're not. They lost last week to the Colts, but the Bolts, big win at the Raiders. 20-9, dominated the Raiders pretty much.
But, where's this game at?
At the Bolts.
Okay. So they're at home.
Yep, they're at home laying 2.5 to the Broncos.
It was just in Las Vegas, so no far travels.
No.
Broncos come down from Colorado.
And they'll have all the Bronco fans at the big gazebo. Because
I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
Okay.
They getting how many points they getting?
2.5.
I'm gonna give them another chance.
Okay. I'm gonna go the Bolts.
Yeah, I like how they play.
I like the Bolts. I like Harbaugh. I like the way they're playing. Things are going. Let's go to the Saints at the Seahawks. 7.5. The Saints get 7.5 on the road against the Seahawks.
7.5.
Yep. So Saints are get 7.5 on the road at the Seahawks.
And who did they play last week?
Saints lost to the Niners 26-21. Very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh last week 31-17.
7.5.
And
I think I'm going to take the 7.5. Saints are so terrible, but I just look at certain guys.
They have been competitive.
Yeah. I mean, you got Kamara. You got...
You know what?
You got some other guys on there
I might be wrong here. I'm taking the Saints, too, because I like the hook, and I think the Saints, last famous words, can keep it close.
Yeah.
Not only they're going to win, they could, but I don't think so. But the Seahawks are going to have the Saints are going to hang around.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They could do that. They can hang around.
Okay, let's go to the 425. The Bears. The boys are at the Bears. Our Cowboys are at the Bears. The Bears are home dog, getting 1.5. Almost a dead even game.
Well, I got to take that. All I do is just let me look at the offensive efficiency. Dallas is more efficient than Chicago. I'm taking Dallas.
Me too. I think I hate to say it. I think the Bears are crappy. Either you want to blame the coach. He hasn't been there long enough to blame, but I don't know what the problem is with the Bears. They just look bad. And Caleb Williams hasn't played bad, but the team has, but he hasn't.
No.
And
it's a new system, everything.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
It's going to take a minute.
Let's go to the Cardinals at the 49ers. Mac Jones.
God. How many points?
1.5. The Cardinals get 1.5 on the road. It's almost a pick 'em. It's the other 425 game.
I want to put pressure on Arizona. I'm taking them because they need to win this to show that they are not just this paper type of team. They got to be a show that they're going to be an established team that's going to try to win that division early. They usually do that, and for a little bit, and then they fall off the cliff. But they
almost blew that game last week to the Panthers. They didn't cover. We got that wrong. In fact, you were 10-6 last week. I was 11-5. The first week, you were 8-8. I was 5-11. The first week, I'm sitting at 500, 16-16. So one week I was 5-11. The next week I'm 11-5. You at least a little bit more consistent. 8-8, 10-6. You're 18-14. I'm 16-16. So whatever, where I draw from that, I have no idea. I'm on the fence. I'll take the Niners. Although I do kind of lean toward the Cardinals. I'm okay. Let's move on to the Sunday nighter. Mm-hmm. Chiefs at the Giants. The Giants are getting 6.5. Sunday nighter, 8:20 NBC. Both teams are 0-2.
Right. So, I'm going to take the Chiefs because I want to see if the championship medal is there, where they say, "Hey, we got to come out here and play." And this team doesn't compare with ours. We're going to blow them out. So let's see if they can. Even though it's something about New York, the city that I love, and they heart come into it, they will play you sometimes when you least expect it. And this is a perfect spot that they could upset the Chiefs. I mean, it is, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs this time.
What I think, after I watched the game last week, if Russell Wilson doesn't throw the moon ball in overtime, which I don't know why he did, because it's just like I don't know if he was, I hate to say this, but it was almost like, what was he doing? Throwing the ball like that? I mean, nobody was around. Did neighbors run the wrong route?
You could have.
Go the wrong way? I mean, I just don't, I didn't get it. But it was a bad call. That's the problem that I hate. It was a stupid call. All you needed to do was just down the field. You had all the time in the world. Work it down and kick don't throw a risk up. That was a crappy play because it was a high risk pass anyway, and you didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
If you were losing, I got it, but you were not. You were in control of the game. You had the game there. All you needed to do is work it down the field, and he threw that ball. I was jumping out of the chair going, what is he doing? I mean, I don't get it. Saying all that, I'm going to take the Giants and the 6.5.
Yeah, I mean,
because the only reason why I'm taking and I'm probably going to be wrong, they'll get blown out. But I think the Giants can keep it close, and it could come to a field goal because Russell Wilson did show me last week he could play well. They should have beat Dallas.
Yeah, yes, they should have.
They should have.
They should have.
They were in a position to win that game.
They should have won that football game.
Not close. They should have won the game.
It never should have been in overtime.
No. They should have. The Giants had that game there.
Yep.
For the first time in ever. I can't remember the last time they beat Dallas.
And that was in Dallas.
And
they were just doing stuff to dominate them.
And they were actually.
And they couldn't figure out Wilson. He was just throwing all over them.
Moving around, making plays. He looked like the old Russell Wilson from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, is that the same guy in there or what's going on? But he said he's not ready to give up the reins just yet.
Let's finish this with the Lions are at the Ravens. It's a Monday nighter, ABC, ESPN, obviously the 8 o'clock game, 8:15. Ravens lay 4.5 to the Lions on the road in Baltimore, getting 4.5. Monday nighter.
Oh.
The Lions played really bad against Green Bay on Sunday, but snapped back against the Bears. I don't know what you draw from that because of the Bears just a bad football team. The Ravens, we know the Ravens are a good team. They definitely should have beat the Buffalo Bills Sunday night, and they just manhandled the Browns last Sunday. It wasn't even a competitive game.
I'm going to take the Ravens at home.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens too and lay the points because I think that at the end of the day, the Ravens will. And the Ravens blew them out. I think last year they played down there, and the Ravens blew the Lions out.
Yeah, and I just look at he hasn't been running a lot, Lamar. But I'm wondering if he's just going to say, okay, just forget it. I'm just going back to throwing it and running it and doing everything.
Just what they need is to let Lamar do it. They don't let Lamar run the game. If they were to let Lamar in Buffalo, they win the game. Fourth down, Lamar, take the ball.
Yeah.
Do your thing, Lamar. We win the game.
Yep. I believe that.
Because he's the guy, you put the ball in his hands, he's gonna make whatever it is happen, and he's gonna lead you to the win. Yep. Well, that's the Saturday Morning Sports Page in overtime. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. Do not drink and do not drive. Get a designated driver. Stay sober, stay safe, and buckle up. Saturday Morning Sports Page, Western Reserve Radio.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Get loose and get loud with all sports, all seasons at Stadium Swim. Take in the $1 million views at our rooftop lounge, Legacy Club. Go big and go all night with our luxurious rooms and suites. Book the time of your life today at circalasvegas.com.
Join Matt Brown and Mike Somich on Ready, Set, Bet as they get you ready to make your bets for all the weekend games.
We're going to be at the end of this thing with money guns, or I'm just going to be like, begging people for change out on Fremont Street.
It feels like the Twins and the Guardians have higher floors but lower ceilings.
Don't miss out on crucial advice for live betting once the game starts, as well as looking ahead to the upcoming action. Tune in to Ready, Set, Bet, weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the sports betting network. Conference play intensifies all around the country. We have 3 top 25 ranked versus ranked matchups on this Saturday as we say hello and welcome to week number 4 of the 2025 college football season right here on Live Bet Saturday on VSiN. I am Ben Stevens. Jared Smith joining us in just a bit from downtown Las Vegas. At the Circus Sportsbook, we have you covered for the entirety of the early window on this 4th full Saturday slate of the 2025 campaign. 59 FBS college football days dot the docket on this Saturday, starting right here, right now at noon Eastern time. We've got a midnight kick off the mainland on the islands between Hawaii and Fresno State. You've got about 14 full hours of college football to enjoy in week number 4. Throughout our 3 hours, up until 3 p.m. Eastern time, plenty of great guests as well to deliver expertise and insight on the biggest matchups of this week for Saturday. A huge one in Lincoln, Nebraska, between Nebraska and the number 21 team in the country in Michigan, to the Sunshine State between Miami and Florida. Can DJ Lagway and the Gators bounce back from a 5-interception game last week on the road in Baton Rouge against LSU? And I mentioned those 3 ranked versus ranked top 25 tilts, maybe the biggest game Indiana football has ever seen. Tonight, as the Hoosiers, the number 19 team in the nation, host the number 9 Illinois Fighting Illini. Russ Reynolds will join us a little bit later on to preview that matchup. We've also got Auburn and Oklahoma in the mid-afternoon slate, but we start with one of those 3 top 25 games right here, right now. 11 games about to kick off at noon Eastern time. It is Live Bet Saturday for a reason. All of those live wagering opportunities as we see them and as these games progress, as we break down the matchups and we get deeper into these contests, we'll give you all of those great live betting opportunities. It's a huge matchup in the Big 12, a top 20 tilt as Texas Tech travels to Salt Lake City in Rice-Eccles Stadium to take on Utah. Entering this week for Saturday, the Utes and the Red Raiders are your two betting favorites winning a Big 12 championship this year. You see the line right there. The Utes, a 3.5-point home favorite in Rice-Eccles, where they used to be dominant. Not so much last season. Our total dropping as we near kick in just a few minutes in Utah to 56.5. It's a top 25 game. It has monumental implications on that very tightly contested Big 12 championship race. Utah just a few cents in front of Texas Tech as we enter week number 4. You see the total in the low 60s. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, this is an old-fashioned Big 12 shootout. I would question that. 56.5, that number. My apologies there. Neither team has really shown us all that much defensively, but we have seen a lot from these scoring offenses. The Red Raiders enter week 4, the best scoring offense in college football, 174 points in total, and their experienced quarterback, Baron Morton, has orchestrated the offense very well this year for Tech. 11 touchdowns, tied for the most of any FBS quarterback, with only a single interception. On the other side, you might think of Utah as that dominant physical team up front playing in slugfest after slugfest, and you're not wrong. But the offenses showed out early this season. Devin Dampier, a Heisman hopeful at a 20-1 place. The Utes' new quarterback who transferred from New Mexico alongside his offensive coordinator, Jason Beck. And the two have not skipped a beat. Utah, 137 total points this year. 11th best scoring offense in college football. Are we going to see points in Salt Lake? Or will the defenses stand tall? Again, that total working its way down from 57 in a hook just yesterday afternoon to 56.5. Some of the late circa wagers, some of that sharp